Hi guys, Steve Palmer here. Welcome to final round coverage of the Irish Open. Bruce Millington will be joining us, currently having huge technical difficulties. The lighting was a bit of an issue, and then attempts to solve the lighting actually made things worse, and then he couldn't update his computer. This looks promising though. Here he is, Bruce Millington, the presenter. The Dark Destroyer, we like to call him now, because you can hardly see him. It's so dark, isn't it?
It's dark, isn't it? Oh, I don't know what to do about the darkness, but at least I'm here.
You are the Prince of Darkness, aren't you?
How did you get on? Were you good at presenting?
Well, I only had to do it for about 10 seconds. Yeah, I was about to. You weren't confident. We must apologise for this tardy start. Yeah, we said 1:30.
I'm about to.
Go on. Yeah, you start eating humble pie.
I'm the one who should be apologised. Sorry, folks. Basically, there's a problem with my computer. It's lovely in broad daylight, but as you can see, I'm quite dark. And so people suggested turning the computer off and on again. And when I did it, I got an update on my computer and it wouldn't let me back in for 20 minutes. So that was enjoyable. Didn't stress at all. I've frightened the dog swearing so loudly, but here we are. It's sweet.
Run out of expletives now. You run out of expletives. You need to get a new dictionary of expletives. I
feel like I've triple bogeyed the first, but we're all right now.
Yes. Yeah, we are behaving like a lot of the greyhounds I've been back in lately, very tardy out the traps. But you're back in time to see Adrian Meronk make a birdie at the second there. Good timing in that respect.
I'll tell you what, Steve, it is all change, isn't it? This final round of the Irish Open is going to be extraordinary. But
some great scoring conditions out there, and certain players are making a very fast start, including Espen Kofstad, who's joined Meronk at the top of the leaderboard there. Good conditions, no wind to speak of. I'm expecting lots of birdies, and I think Adrian Meronk will get more than anyone else.
Okay, right. So we better start off with this. No, first of all, welcome everyone. Sweet Spot Live. Basically, if you've never joined us before, it is quite shambolic, but not as shambolic as the start so far. However, I'm Bruce Millington, and along with Steve Palmer, we'll be talking you through the final round of the Irish Open, which does promise to be extremely exciting. We'll be referencing prices. Our sponsors, Ballsplats, have an extraordinary array of in-play markets, and we'll be getting through those, to win the hole, to make the green, how many putts will they take? Hopefully Steve's managed to winkle out a few nuggets for us. But most of all, we would love to have your involvement as well. So do please join us on the chat. There's loads and loads of people already on. I'll sift through, and hopefully I haven't got too many people telling me off, A, about my ludicrous lighting, and B, more importantly, my lateness. But before we go any further, I'm going to take you through the betting, and then we will get Steve's idea of the winner. So, Boyle Sports' latest odds on the Irish Open: 7-4, Adrian Meronk; 5-2, Jorge Campillo; 4, Espen Kofstad; 9-2, John Catlin; 14, Fabio Zanotti; 33, Jack Senior; 40, David Law; 28, Ryan Fox; 66, Aaron Rye; 180-1, Thriston the Piston Lawrence; and 100-1, Barr. Right, Steve, without further ado, who do you fancy and why?
I fancy Adrian Meronk. I think the time has come. We've been very patient with Adrian Meronk. He's been a sweet spot regular. He's had 6 top 6 finishes this year. I mean, there's no one knocking louder on the door of the DP World Tour winners enclosure. He's a maiden at the moment, but surely not for much longer. It's a dreamy leaderboard for him. There's no one to fear. You know, the Shane Lowrys, the Thomas Peters are nowhere to be seen. He's got no one on that leaderboard that will make him fret. I think he's learnt to be in contention now. His post-round interview yesterday, he's talking about committing to his shots. And you've seen that in the opening couple of holes here. Total commitment to every shot. Yeah, they pulled the drive a little bit at the first, but it was a good angle in from there, and he's birdied the second. So, I'm really encouraged by this start by Adrian Meronk. And if you look at those leaderboard rivals, who's he going to fear? I mean, John Catlin, I suppose, is a proven winner, but aside from them, Ryan Fox, maybe too little, too late. So, the Pride of Poland. I've got the shirt on for the Pride of Poland. We tipped him up this morning at 9-4, and I'm hoping to see him get the job done, and then I can go and celebrate with my Polish neighbours. Oh
yeah, have you spoke to your Polish neighbour yet? Because I mean, there was that thing where you saw him when Adrian Meronk was going well in a previous tournament, and you were going to sort of say, "Oh, it's a big day, isn't it?" And then you realised that probably golf's no big deal in Poland. So not many people would have heard of Adrian Meronk, would they?
We haven't moved on to the golf chat yet. We just still have pleasantries. He's a dog walker. He walks his dog. I'm occasionally walking in to the pub and other things. I haven't got a dog, but we have banter, but very low grade, low key, small banter. But I may up that. Yeah. He's Chris. He's Chris, and he now lives on his own. He's recently had a breakup. Yeah, he's in a homosexual partnership, but that Sebastian has gone off to Cornwall. Apparently, they've had a breakup. So he's all on his own, and
isn't it?
It all happens around my way. Yeah. So he's all on his own, and I guess he's tuning into this. Well, not Sweet Spot Live, but the golf. It's Zanotti for birdie.
What's his dog called? What sort of dog is he?
I don't know the name of his dog. No, it's one of those really, really ugly ones. With all due respect, got like the big sort of snout and what do you call that? Yeah, I find it hard to describe. A sort of pale skin, big snout. Looks a bit like a pig.
A pug, maybe.
No, it's not a pug. Not a pug. It doesn't sound like a pig. It looks like a pig. No, it's not a bulldog. Keep going. Well, actually, even if you get the answer, I'm not going to know.
Okay. All right. Back to the golf. Kevin McConaughey. Thanks for joining us, Kevin, on Sweet Spot Live. What do you think the winning score will be, lads? No point asking me. I'm clueless. Steve, what will the winning score be? The leaders are currently on -15, and it looks like a bit of a birdie fest, doesn't it? So
I think you've got to get to 20. Yeah, if you don't. I don't think you can win unless you get to 20. Yeah, so I think it's a birdie fest. The wind's down all afternoon. Nice soft golf course. Yeah, if you don't get to 20, I don't think you can win. And I think Adrian will get there.
Okay, excellent. Right. Well, like I say, let us know who you fancy. We will go down the list and see what everyone's got to say. Jim Frater said he's back Kofstad at 14s last night. Just so he had an excuse to watch us and it's a great start. It is a great start, Jim. Well done. 14's Kofstad. Nothing wrong with that. Steve, tell us about, what's he called? Something Kofstad.
Espen Kofstad. Yeah. He's a 4-time winner.
Bit of a dude.
No mug. Absolutely no mug. 4-time winner on the Challenge Tour. Plenty of power in his locker. 34 years of age, I believe. So, no spring chicken. It would be, it's about time he got a DP World Tour title. But I don't know, he's carrying a man bun. Have you noticed that? He's in possession of a man bun. Bit of a statement maker.
Who would have won with one of those? Marcel CM possibly.
Yes. Probably the only golfer who's won with a man bun. I'd struggle to think of another one. Good question. One for our commentors. Nice to see Jim Frater in action. He's a regular. I think he lives in Denmark, if I remember rightly. So he might, he likes his Norwegians. He likes his Danes.
Oh yeah, someone said, are we Stuart synced up? CT Tempest Wood says, yes, good point. We better do some thinking.
Very good point. Very good point. Very good point.
So who's this? Who's this? Oh, it's John Catlin. So when he hits it, Steve, you and I are going to sync just to make sure we're in sync, and then we'll do another one to see if the viewers. So here we go. No, you just say duh. It's got this sharp noise. You can't do a gradual noise because I don't know the point of impact. We'll have to go again.
Okay, no.
It's
Okay.
duh. Come on.
Okay, we'll go again. I've just had a text off. The wife's just texted me, actually. I must get this right because I think she's closer to this fella than me, but he's not living on his own. He has a new partner and his dog is a bull terrier.
Oh, lovely. Excellent. Thanks for clearing both of those up. That's good. Yeah. Well, I'm glad Chris has found new love and a bull terrier. Brilliant. I don't think sinking works so much for putts, does it? I think it's more of a drive. No.
You've got to find new love, and your life's too short, isn't it?
Well, very much so. Yeah, absolutely. Meronk, there's certainly no problem finding Meronk today with that vivid yellow shirt. Right, here we go. Here's Kofstadt. So as soon as he hits it, just go duh.
Lovely shaft.
Take your time. Duh.
Duh.
Oh, I'm a little bit in front of you, but hopefully that helps you at home. If you're watching live pictures, you can always just pause and then play when we say duh. Andrew Rickett says, afternoon, guys. Who needs Test match, Tour de France, or the British Grand Prix when I can be watching this gold? Thank you, Andrew. Hope you're enjoying it.
Welcome, Rico. Yeah, it's a great afternoon of sport, isn't it? There's lots going on.
Well, I'm more interested in the Tour than the Formula One Grand Prix, I must say. Although I want Lewis Hamilton to win after what he went through this week. Can he win it? I'd say he's rubbish these days, isn't he, in terms of...
That's a good question. Yeah, that's above my pay grade. I don't really know what's going on in the world of Formula One. It seemed a very short close season. Have I got that right? Yeah, 1 minute Verstappen's winning in that famous duel, and then the next minute they're starting again. But maybe that's just what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Yeah, welcome on board, Rico. That's Masha's friend, Rico.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Hopefully he's back to Adrian Meronk. He was 35-1 at the start of this tournament, Adrian Meronk, but he'd missed the cut in this tournament by 5 shots last year at this course. It was a bit off-putting, that, but obviously doesn't count for much, does it? He's obviously in such good form at the moment, and he's got so much more self-belief after all those spells on the leaderboard. So fingers crossed for Meronk. Big Shane might run into a place. We'll see on now, but no, probably a bit too ambitious.
He's on -11.
-11. Well, you never know. Stranger things have happened at sea.
Yeah, and so is so's Larry. So you got Larry and Rye. You don't want to know who I thought was going to win at halfway, but I backed Aaron Ryan. He birdied the first 2 holes, but he's gone backwards since. Hasn't really got the head.
Has he really?
Yeah, so that's a bit.
Has he really? Yeah. And are you looking forward to the John Deere Classic? I know we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but I think this is the day of the M's. I just want to, if anyone fancies some double action, back Adrian Meronk to win this golf tournament with Denny McCarthy to win this evening's golf tournament, the John Deere Classic. All the M's. All right, that'll be a lovely price. I think 11-2 top price Denny McCarthy this morning. Sticking with Meronk, you got a lovely double. Or if you want to be more ambitious, how about 3 M's, triple M's? Rory McIlroy for the JP McManus Invitational, which starts tomorrow. 2-round event at Adair Manor. We can have a good deep dive into that later. We don't want to peak too early, but get your trebles on. Get your M trebles on. Meronk, McCarthy, McIlroy.
You're chipper today, Steve.
Well, I've got more energy. I think these afternoon ones are not so bad. I mean, when we're doing the Sunday night ones, I'm usually running on fumes.
I suppose you've had a full day with your energetic offspring, haven't you? Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, 3-year-old and a 7-year-old, and lots of golf bets. By Sunday night, you've not got much left in the tank. So yeah, these afternoon ones are much more my cup of tea.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, it's nice to see so ebullient. And most importantly, of course, how's your mum? Because she was in the wars yesterday, wasn't she? And we were getting a bit concerned. But is she all right? What's the news today? Yeah,
still in the hospital. Visiting hours 2 p.m. till 7 p.m. So yeah, once this is finished, as long as it's not really prolonged playoff, I'll pay her a visit later on after this.
Oh, good. Excellent. Yeah, we don't want a long playoff for various reasons, but particularly so you can go and see your mum. Okay, well, I hope she continues to make good progress. Jimenez, according to Paul Burns, says Jimenez, the ultimate man bun. Is it?
Oh, fair point. Yeah, fair point. I forgot about him.
It's more of a kind of
a curly heap.
A curly ponytail, really, wasn't it? I mean, just because it's
ponytail.
A ponytail isn't a bun. Mind you, I suppose he might have made a bun.
Yeah. So it's definitely on our radar, isn't it? We'll have to have a good think about that later. But that's definitely on our radar. Good point, well made.
Lewis
Senior. Oh, poor old Jack's Mr. Tiddler. Jack's seen a lot of pressure.
Out with the washing, isn't he? Lewis Williams says, great to watch another live. Thanks, Lewis. Will you be going for specific hole bets like the US Open? They were class. Yeah, we should do, Steve, shouldn't we?
We bloody well should. I have got a few in mind. I've got 4 in mind, actually, but they're all very similar. Okay. I don't need to bring them into play just yet. I don't want.
Okay, we'll make sure you do in time. But I mean, just to remind everyone, just with the Boyle Sports in play stuff. So what you do is you go on to the main market, and then you go on to 2 balls. And look, they're all there. Let's go down to the bottom ones. Meronk and Senior. So there's 26 markets on this. Most of them suspend right now because obviously stuff's happening. But you look at some of the future holes. You've got hole 5 score. That's a par 5, isn't it, Steve? That. Yeah.
This is it. I will be having a little chat about that in a minute.
Is that the hole you want to focus?
That's the first one I want to have a little go on. But I want to just quickly see a couple of shots on the fourth. Before I commit.
I think they take them down a hole in advance. So
when they start the hole, I guess they take them down.
Come on, what have you got? No, they do it a hole in advance. So come on, quickly. What have you got?
Okay. Well, no, we're not going to panic. What price is Meronk to win the 5th hole against Jack Senior?
Oh, blimey! Let's have a look. Hole 5 winner. Meronk 4 to 6.
4 to 6. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, Meronk's been absolutely murdering these par 5s this week. He's 9 under par for the par 5s. He's got his tail up here, and Senior very much hasn't after missing that tiddler. I think 4 to 6 Meronk to beat Senior. It should be our opening gambit there.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. We'll do that. Right. Let's get
Lambun's just had a shocking chip there. No touch there. Where is the finesse? Too busy styling his hair, and he's not been practicing his chipping.
So if he's 34 and I've never heard of him, I mean, I don't know as much about golf as you do, but I mean, if he's any good, I should have heard of him by now at 34, shouldn't I? I mean,
I thought 10 years ago he was at the same sort of level he is now. Yeah, good. He's just been just sort of treading water at that level. Yeah. I expected more from him, but 4-time winner on the Challenge Tour. I mean, more people have heard of him than have heard of you, with all due respect.
You reckon?
You're not going to get the Twitter followers out now. Don't sink to that level.
No.
Espen Kofstad might not be on there.
What's he called? Espen Kofstad.
Kofstad. Espen Kofstad. Here he is.
Here we are. So hang on. So Espen Kofstad's got 3,304 Twitter followers. Okay.
It's not the measure of a man. I got 0. I got 0.
I've never done. I was doing that ironically, with listeners. Honestly, I'm not that big a tosser.
He's not going to be happy with that. He really opened up the flange on that wedge, and he didn't get enough purchase. And
does a wedge have a flange?
Yes, it has a very, very big flange.
Where is it? What part of the wedge would a flange be?
Isn't the whole face called the flange?
Is it? I'm literally
not a flan.
I know. Yeah,
a flange. Yeah. The whole face of it is the flange, I believe. Unless I've got that horribly wrong. It's a good word, whatever. Even if I've got that, it's a good.
Shifty lad says some field in the McManus Pro-Am. Any idea of winners, boys? It's being broadcast on TV too. Don't you worry, Shifty lad. We will get to that. Steve's actually put a couple of tips up in the Racing Post today, so he'll tell you all about them. Don't worry about that. And
really exciting event, actually. And I'm so pleased the Sky Sports cameras are there. I mean,
it should be marvelous. Steve, are you having your traditional lump on a World Cup winner this year? And if so, have you decided who you're leaning towards backing? Have you had a think yet?
I would like to think I will be having my traditional lump on it, but I have absolutely no idea. I haven't really thought about it yet. I mean, I've still got plenty of time, haven't I?
December,
December, yeah. So
5 months.
Put my thinking cap on. I love getting a shirt and throwing myself. You can't beat a major tournament, can you?
Do you think in the winter though, it's a bit of a blow, isn't it? We should be getting to the thrilling part of the World Cup at this time of year, shouldn't we?
You make a very good point.
Yeah. A shot there.
Espen's dropped out there. So we've got Jorge Campillo and Adrian Meronk joint leaders. Meronk's in a bit of a rough lie, I believe, on the 4th. So we shall see. But yeah, John Catlin hanging around like a bad smell, isn't he?
Well, he's the reigning champ, isn't he?
No. Lucas Herbert is the reigning champ. Past winner. And a prolific winner now. But a player that he never really impresses me. Here he is, though. Here he is to go in
Well,
front.
yeah, but
I mean,
this is your such a snobbery, isn't it? This is you being a snob. Why? Because he's not beefy and trendy and smashes it miles. There's no pictures on mantelpieces.
No, you're absolutely right. There's quite a few pictures on some mantelpieces.
Well,
no, you're absolutely right.
It's probably if you were doing family fortunes and you said name something on a mantelpiece.
Number one, wouldn't it?
Picture, no, what would it be? No, what have you got? Can you see your mantelpiece from here?
I don't know. That's not going in the water, is it? That's a bit of an ambitious line. I don't think I've got a mantelpiece. Oh, well done. That bodes very well for Adrian Meronk.
You don't have a mantelpiece?
I don't think so.
Well, you'd know, wouldn't you? I mean, you're in your lounge now, aren't you?
Yeah, there's definitely not one in here.
Oh, right.
No. I haven't got any trophy. I don't win much silverware. Oh, Shane's on the first page of the leaderboard.
I've just got candles on mine.
Yeah, I was going to say candles. Yeah. Nice. How often do you bring a candle into play? You could do one now, to be honest, with your darkness.
I could. I've got all the ceiling lights blazing on. It's costing me about 200 quid to keep these on, and to no avail. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what's
going on. You must be emitting such darkness yourself. Like you get these bad moods.
It was causing that stress. And my poor daughter, she's a student paramedic, and she's been on night shifts this week, and she literally got woken up by me swearing at my computer. And then bless her, she came running down and got her own laptop to try and fix it. And at that point, the spinning wheel stopped and it came back on. So,
must be very comforting to have a paramedic in the house now. So if you have a sudden heart attack, she could come and sort it all out, no problem.
Well, I don't know about no problem. I mean, I'd be in better shape with her on hand than if she was, I don't know, working in a shoe shop or whatever. But
yeah, that's great. I'm going to encourage my daughter to become a paramedic. That'll put my mind at rest a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a very rewarding job. I mean,
it's the most noble of trades. Yeah, absolutely.
Job they make loads of documentaries about, isn't it? As well, it's like 24 hours in the ambulance or ambulance emergency plus USA and stuff like that. It's quite good.
They're absolute heroes. My dad said that the pair of blokes that came and took my mum to hospital a couple of days ago, they were absolute heroes, just so calm and physically strong enough to get the job done. Yeah, that's in the middle of the night. They just got to be ready to go at any moment.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, thank God for people like that. Thank God.
And you meant to tip taxi drivers, or nothing against taxi drivers, or people who cut your barnet, but there's no culture of tipping nurses or doctors or anything, which I always think is a bit strange, isn't it? Really good
point you made there. Yeah. They
should have a jar on the way out, shouldn't they?
You should just throw it in the back of the ambulance, shouldn't you, without them knowing? Because they're probably not allowed to take anything, but they find it, wouldn't they? And they probably hand it into a police officer. No, they're so noble.
Tom Barrett says, have you seen JT and Speed sinking pints of Guinness on the course in Ireland this morning? Yes, I think they were playing at Tralee Golf Club or somewhere. And there's a picture of JT. He looked like he'd hit a slightly errant shot and he was making his way down a hillock. But he had a pint of the black stuff on the go.
Oh, I've not seen that. No, they're having a lot of fun. No, they'll really enjoy that tournament. Adair Manor, I've been there and had a whale of a time. It's a brilliant place to hang out.
Yeah, it sounds really nice. And of course, it's a Ryder Cup venues before too long, isn't it?
2027, yeah. So they're all getting a good look at it, and it's a nice way to.
2023 in Italy, Steve. Am I right? Next year's Ryder Cup in Italy.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, we're off to Rome, I believe, and then we're off to Adair in 2027. So yeah, that'd be a good one to go to if you fancy it. We're all still kicking. Because some
lads at work have booked up a nice hospitality package for Rome next year. Sounds really good.
Have they really? Blimey. Yours underpaid. Who's getting paid enough to go hospitality packages at Ryder Cups?
Well, it's amazing, Steve. If you spend your money on things other than betting on golfers, you can do all sorts of stuff, Amazing. Jack Senior with a birdie putt, and boy does he need it, because he's really got off to a bad start. Let's take you through the leaderboard in case you're wondering why we're chuntering away. Let's have a look. Adrian Meronk is 5-4. John Catlin is 5-2. These are Boyle Sports prices. 3-1 Jorge Campillo. 9-1 Fabrizio Zanotti. 12 Espen Kofstadt. 28, 33 even Ryan Fox. They're changing all the time right in front of my eyes. 25 David Law. 100 Senior. 125 Rye. 100 Piston. 200 Bar. So it makes you think, doesn't it, Steve? The thing with this the Ball Sports leaderboards, it's so quick. It's actually quicker than the TV picks. So I'm going to give you some good news as you watch Meronk stand over this birdie putt. He gets it.
He does. He's putting.
I'm not going to do that again, folks, because you.
No, that's a bit naughty. That's a spoiler alert in a way, isn't it? I mean, he has been putting superbly. Yesterday, his putt was like a magic wand. Look at that, right in the heart of the hole at the perfect pace.
Yeah. So I'm not going to do that again, but it is just worth pointing out that the Ball Sports odds and leaderboard are so quick that they're actually quicker than what you're seeing it on Sky. So that's
it's a good point. Well made. Yeah, I can hear the cheers coming from Christopher's house there. He's seen that one go in. Yeah. The Meronk's right in the zone. I hope he can stay that way. And he's coming to his first par 5 now, which, as I say, 9 under par for the par 5s this week. Really impressive. Now Meronk's got that putting go. But we don't want too many chips. That's the problem with Meronk. He's not a great chipper. If he can just play good golf, don't leave himself too many chips, I think he's going to get this done. It's all about the ends.
Paul Burns says, did you see Taylor Gooch saying that the atmosphere at the LIV event was as good as the Ryder Cup?
Has he ever been to a Ryder Cup? He's never played one. I mean, has he? Yeah, I mean, they just say what they got to say, don't they? I think some of them say it more convincingly than the others. I did watch the press conference. Yeah, Pat Perez was talking about it as the greatest experience he's ever had on a golf course. I mean, maybe playing rubbish and picking up a load of money is the greatest experience he's ever had. But he has won 3 blooming PGA Tour events. So I thought he's really sort of sold out to the PR campaign. But yeah, I mean, do we want to talk about that?
Signed up now, Steve.
Paul Casey.
Yeah.
Having made he makes more U-turns than someone who makes lots of U-turns. I mean, he's 1 minute he's not playing in the Saudi International because he's it's against his religion, and then the next minute he's joining that, and now he's gone the whole hog. Don't get me started on Paul Casey.
But he's not very popular, is he? He's always seemed very genial to me, but he's
another unsurprising defector, really. I mean, I thought it was only a matter of time before he went because he's had lots of injury problems. I think your Brooks Koepka, I've heard that his injury problems are actually worse than he's been letting on. I've got a few moles out there that have said he's done it because he can't seem to get his body fully fit. So he knows that you might as well get a quick, easy buck in. So yeah, Paul Casey might be in a similar mode to that. Sorry, a bit of banging coming from the house.
That's right, mate. And we should just point out for the record that Brandon Grace won the latest one in Portland, didn't he? It was funny. I was looking around for prices today, and I was thinking, why are people not betting? I said, if all the bookmakers suddenly found this kind of a principled streak, now we're not going to bet. We don't like it. And then, of course, I've remembered it's only 3 rounds, isn't it?
That's it. And what I will say is that the atmosphere was much better than I anticipated. I mean, hang about. Meronk's in a bit of trouble here. I think Taylor Gooch is not ideal. Not ideal there. No. We're shoving out sideways there. So we need Senior to follow him in there. But yeah, what I will say is, I thought the atmosphere at that Portland event, because it wasn't actually in Portland, it was 20 minutes outside Portland in a really sort of a real backwater. I didn't think it would be that great, but there was a lot of Yanks fully engaged in it.
Really?
Yeah.
It was as good as a Ryder Cup then. Who knows?
It was a better atmosphere than I'd anticipated. Yeah, Patrick Reed says it's the first time he's ever felt sort of like people like him. I don't know how they generated that atmosphere, but they certainly did. I know there was a few protests outside the tournament. Oh, Shane's in trouble here. Par putt at 12.
Well, Peter Davis says, I wonder if Larry can birdie himself into this. He's just bogeyed himself out of it, I'm afraid, Peter. So any last hope shot there? I suppose if he took a bunch of extra places, he might go mad and get himself into it. Here's Kofstadt looking to birdie the 6th to get himself back to 1 behind Meronk. It's not a bad putt, but it's not good enough. Just one more word on the LIV then, Steve. I mean, someone said that they went and they said it was absolutely soulless. No one was applauding. No one was cheering. It was absolutely soulless. But the evidence of what you saw, you said it was a little bit more jovial, yeah?
Well, the field has gone up a level from. I'm guessing your mate went to the Centurion one where the field was.
He's not a mate. It's just a bloke on Twitter. A bloke on Twitter said he went to the one in Portland.
Oh, he went to the one in Portland. Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, the Centurion one, the field was poor, the weather was poor, the scores were poor, and it was all a bit drab. But this second one was much more successful. reasonable atmosphere. The players played better. I mean, you look at the media conference afterwards with Dustin Johnson in there and Patrick Reed and Brandon Grace. A real camaraderie between these guys. The defectors, obviously the defectors are all in love with each other. It's a big sort of they've all taken that leap together, and they seem to be genuinely enjoying it. One reporter bravely asked Dustin Johnson, where's your motivation coming from this? And DJ sort of claimed that he's more motivated now than he ever has been, which I find hard to believe. But I don't know. I think LIV Golf. We've been talking on Sweet Spot regularly about the drip effect of new players coming over. I don't know whether Paul Casey's not turning the needle, but I think probably we'll get a few more. There's a lot of Tommy Fleetwood rumours, isn't there? I don't know. I really don't know. But I don't think LIV Golf is going anywhere now. I think it's here to stay. And it's a reasonable event they put on last week. Lots of protests outside the course. I think the local mayor was fuming. They had lots of relatives of 9/11 victims were they're protesting. They're going to do an even bigger protest at the New Jersey event that's coming up.
Oh, that's the next one at the end of July, isn't it? Yeah,
Bedminster. So the controversy will continue to rage, but golfers will continue to get very, very rich.
Shifty Lad says, got to admit, lads, it was very good on YouTube. There you go. And of course, for a lot of golf fans, Steve, they don't have Sky subscriptions, and so watching a bit of golf free on YouTube's nice one for the people who don't have a TV subscription. So
true, and and the people of Pumpkin Ridge, they haven't seen a decent golfer since Tiger Woods, who was on. I'll tell you now in the advert there. 1996 US Amateurs, the last decent event they had. The locals at Pumpkin Ridge were going bananas for it.
Look, I mean. The one thing I would say, is that regardless of what your view is on people taking money from the Saudi regime to participate in sport, the focus on this golf and the golfers who are partaking in it is miles more intense than any other sporting focus. I mean, we've had Saudi, when the Saudi Invitational was being played, no one seems to bat an eyelid, did they? I think there's been Grand Prix, there's been boxing, they obviously own a Premier League football club. And like I say, regardless of what your view is on the regime, the one point I would say is that the focus on the golfers and the scrutiny they're getting and the kind of heat they're getting in press conference is vastly different to any other sporting event I've seen. And I'm not quite sure why. So I'll leave it at that. I mean, I suppose the fact that these Brandon Grace won, beat Carlos Ortiz, and I think Dustin Johnson was third. So it's probably actually not a very good result for punters either, was it?
Yeah, I think the reason it's the why is because with you're talking about Newcastle United, you can't get rid of the Premier League, so that's Newcastle are here to stay. With the boxing, you can't get rid of boxing. The Formula One, you can't get rid of that. But you can get rid of the LIV Golf Tour, can't you? Golf can survive without it. I don't know. I think maybe that's. I've probably not explained it very well, but I think that's the why. We can get rid of the LIV Golf Tour, but as I say, I don't think we are going to get rid of the LIV Golf Tour. And as punters, we all come back to what we're here for. No one really cares about our views and anything else. As punters, we have to accept it is jolly exciting to have 3 tournaments quite regularly. And if or
Meronk in the bushes. How's he going to get out of this? He's going to have to go through some foliage. There looks like there is an escape hatch there. As he got through, it looks. He's advanced it out of the. Okay, he's gone from the real deep rubbish to the first cut of hay there. So it looks like he could drop a shot. Let's see what that's done to the betting. Still have Meronk at 5-4, and they've got Caitlin at 5-2. Is this the 5th, by the way? It's no good for our bet, is it?
No, it's no good for our bet. Certainly not. But I mean, this is early in the round for Meronk outright backers. It's good to have this little hiccup now rather than later in the piece. He seemed to be taking lots of deep breaths there. He did talk about breathing in his interview yesterday. How important breathing is.
Breathing is. I mean, I don't know anyone who's ever tried to hold their breath for 18 holes of golf, but you definitely do need to breathe. There's no question.
It can't be done, can it?
No, it can't. He's still 5-4 with Ball Sports, and it's Steve, 5-2 John Catlin. 4 Jorge Campillo, 10 Kofstadt, 25 Zanotti, 20 Fox, David Law coming into it. He's only 9-1. We better talk about him in a moment. 40-1 the Piston, 80 Jack Senior, and 3 figures the rest. Sorry, mate. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say about a Netflix documentary. I don't know if I mentioned it before, where there was a deep sea diver that all his equipment got messed up when he was down there, and he was basically not breathing for about 2 hours or something crazy. And then everyone assumed he was dead. And then they get down there, get him up, and he's all right. He comes back to life because he'd got so much oxygen in his veins from for being down there so long, sucking on his oxygen. It was all his body was just feeding off the stuff that was already in his sort of veins. Amazing story.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe you could do 18 holes if you did it in 2 hours.
I suppose so. Yeah, here's Meronk now with his third shot to the par 5 fifth. Let's see how he gets on. Let's give it a good old hoik.
Great speed through the ball there.
And he's short, up and prepared. So he's got the devil's own job there to get up and down, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's left that in a nice spot though. Yeah, he's still got a good shot, but that's his weakness. That's a long chip, isn't it? So yeah, we could be dropping a shot here, but there's a lot of golf to be played.
Has that caused a drift in his price? Yes, he's out 6-4 now. It's 9-4 Catlin, 9-2 Campio, 9 Kofstedt, 9 Law. We better talk about David Law in a minute. Let's get through some more comments. So thank you very much for tuning in. Will says, has Steve got a dog in the fight? Yeah, he's all over Meronk now. Steve's tips at the start were Minwoo Lee, who I think didn't hang around for the weekend, did he?
No, they all made the cut, but they have not made much of an impression. I mean, I was hoping Larry might. I went for Larry, Peters, and Minwoo, and Peters did his usual tormenting job on me, and I thought he might get into it yesterday, but he didn't. Yeah, so Larry's doing the best, but I think he's just blowing his chances of getting a place. Okay,
that would make a good call subject, actually. Let us know which golfers you are never, ever backing again and why. I mean, I had a spell of never, ever backing Peters, and I even tried to get Steve not to tip him, but it was a stupid thing to do because he won tournaments. So, but Peters...
Following week, when it was a week later.
Ernie Els has been on the list. He used to drive me absolutely mad because he dropped shots and then looked like he was smiling, and I just couldn't have that. That was really annoying. So Adrian Olsen as well, another one who I stopped backing before he won. But let us know who the golfers are that you just cannot stand. Gus, what's he called?
That's Gussie or not.
99 says 5-4, way too short. It's so far to go, surely. Well, I mean, the thing is, Gus, it is quite a congested leaderboard, isn't it? Let's just quickly take you through it. Meronk -16, Catlin -15, so is Campillo. Law, Kofstadt -14, Fox and Zanotti -13. The aforementioned Thorben Olsen is -12, so is Tristan Lawrence, and then it's 11, Rye, Morrison, Southgate, Rosner, Senior. Suppose those guys are only 4 back if Meronk doesn't get up and down here. So
you've just seen the weakness there. I mean, you've just seen the weakness of Jorge Campillo and Fabrizio Zanotti. I mean, this is what I was talking about, what an opportunity this is for Adrian Meronk, because, Jorge Campillo and Fabrizio Zanotti, two really pathetic drop shots there.
I think it's truly pathetic golfers.
Well, I don't want to be unkind. I'd rather be, they've got a more satisfying vocation than me. but I just thought this is such an opportunity for Adrian, as I like to call him, because of those two. Caplin's the one I'm worried about, but there's no one else on that board. Or Ryan Fox birdie. Ryan Fox is sneaking into it. So don't rule him out. Right, this is a big test for Adrian.
Adrian. Mick Talbot says, after last week, Patrick Cantlay. He's absolutely right, Mick, and well done for the correct spelling of Cantlay. Here we go then.
Great. Fantastic names coming in. That fella previously reminded me of Chris Gotterup. Have you been following the progress of Christopher Gotterup in
I can see he's up there,
he's got a big
against Cantlay after last week. Go on, tell us all about Chris Gotterup.
Yeah, I think Chris Gotterup's made a really fantastic start to his career, and really, really powerful and no nonsense sort of character. But the name is the best thing about it. Because
it's good, isn't it?
It reminds me of we're in the racing business. When a horse, he's got her up, and he's got her up, and
he's riding on a filly, and he just got her up on the line. Yeah, I thought that as well. Yeah.
So I think hopefully he'll hang around. But I'll be backing him soon. I would have thought. It's John Catlin for birdie at 7.
It looks about a 20-footer. It's obviously downhill.
He's not giving that enough, is he?
That's pathetic, that, wasn't it? That was rubbish. You are right, he's not up against the titans of golf, is he?
No, there's nothing to beat. What's Big
What did you
Shane
say
doing
you
on
like
our
to call him?
screens?
Adrian.
I like to call him Adrian. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretend that he's one of my friends.
I'll go on.
Oh no, sorry, I was just hoping Larry would get that in. Yeah, I like to call. What do you like to call him?
Well, I haven't really thought. I just call him Meronk, I suppose. I
Fair
mean,
enough.
you say I like to call him Adrian. I thought you'd done that because you discovered some funny nickname or he looks like something. That's his name.
No. I was just making a sort of joke. Yeah, when you're on first name terms with someone, you should have met them. You should have met them, really. You know, I've never met him.
Okay, fair enough. Right then, Andrew Carr's golfer never to back again. Keegan Bradley, number 1 golfer not to follow after backing him a few weeks ago after Steve put him up. Infuriating to watch. He is infuriating because he's got that stupid sort of fidgety way about him. He backs off all the time. He's slow. He holds the club down by his ankles. It's just not for me.
That was a real worm turner. That Bradley debacle. You know, as soon as that went wrong, when he lost that duel to Max Homer, I thought, oh, is the worm turn the wrong way? And it has rather. Yeah, the betting worm. Yeah. Because things were going really well, and then I thought, oh, blimey, maybe the worm's turned it a little bit. Is Espen Kofstad? Has he got enough behind that? No, he hasn't. He shoved it wide.
Put too much behind it.
He has.
Right, then.
Yeah, Ryan Fox will be licking his lips. What price is Ryan Fox on the Boyle Sports charts?
Ryan Fox, he's 20 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sporting wager, isn't it?
I suppose so, yeah. Will Zalatoris from Will. I'm not backing him until he goes to the putting green before his round. Well, you say that. I mean, there is a danger, Will, that Zalatoris' putting travails are actually going to become a little bit over sort of blown, and that one day, because he's a very good long putter, he's just bad over the short ones, isn't he, Steve? He's a brilliant.
I think Will certainly be backing him in his next event there, because he always goes to the putting green before his round, like they all do. But yeah, I know what he's getting at. No, it gives me the willies when he's over a short one, but yeah, not a bad lag putter, as you say.
Shifty Lad says, one and only question about the horses. The Irish Champion Stakes in Leopardstown over Champions Weekend could be the race of the season. Have you ever come over, and will you this year? Well, I've been to that Leopardstown meeting before it became Irish Champions meeting. I've never been to Irish Champions Weekend. Very much would like to. Would you like to, Steve?
I think I've certainly been to an Irish racecourse. I can't quite remember which one it was.
We went to Fairy House. We went to
Fairy House. Fairy House. Yeah. It's brilliant fun, wasn't it?
Chucked it down with rain. Do you remember?
I remember it being brilliant fun. That's about all I can remember about it. But I like a good. Yeah, let's get over to Punchestown and all that business.
No, Leopardstown.
Oh, and Leopardstown. We do both.
Here's Meronk for his par. Let's see if he can drain this. Yes, he can. Love that, don't you?
Centre cut.
You love that. Right then, Nick Pulfrey says, is there a golf equivalent of Nick Kyrgios? Partly the temperament, partly the incredible fast pace. Did you watch that tennis last night, Steve?
I was hoping you could tell me what happened, because I've heard it on the radio being talked about in all sorts of terms.
Oh my goodness, hang on. There's a woodpecker. There's a woodpecker on my bird feeder.
Cripes.
A black and white, lesser spotted woodpecker on my bird feeder.
Well, you must be delighted with that, yeah.
Can you see it? Is that
live action?
Just flown away.
I mean, we can hardly see you, so we got no chance of seeing the woodpecker.
The lesser spotted Bruce Millingtons, I had enough to see. Right, so back to tennis.
That must be a real thrill, though, isn't it, when something good comes on your feeder?
I got a massive thrill there. That was brilliant. That was really good. So basically, I'm not madly into
what happened? What happened?
I could see on Twitter there was something incredible going down. It was Tsitsipas against Kyrgios. And it was the most beefy, bad-tempered sporting event outside of boxing I've ever seen. They were swearing at each other, hitting the ball deliberately at each other. Honestly, it was incredible. It was unbelievable.
There are a few code violations in that.
They both got done. One of them got done for whacking a ball into the. Honestly, mate, it was crazy. It was brilliant. Why do
they hate each other so much?
I don't know. Kyrgios is just a head case. He's a complete and utter lunatic, right? He's completely unhinged, but he's just really fast. And Tsitsipas was messing around with his towel trying to slow it all down, and it was brilliant. Anyway, Kyrgios won, and afterwards, Tsitsipas said he's a bully with an evil streak. I bet he was a bully at school, he said. So, I mean, in terms of golf, the only thing I can remember that comes anywhere near it was Sabatini and Ben Crane.
Oh, yeah. Dear,
when they were in the final two ball, weren't they? And Ben Crane, one of the slowest golfers on the planet, and Sabatini very quick. and Ben Crane was arsing around over his shot, and Sabatini was already on the green. So Sabatini just marched down to the green, didn't he? Just didn't wait.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was incredible. So who won then? Tits, Piss, or Kyrgios? Who won? Who won? Tits, Piss.
You might need to work on your pronunciation, but Kyrgios won.
Kyrgios won. I guess they didn't shake hands afterwards.
Well, this was the other mad thing, right? Everyone's waiting to see the handshake, and the imbecile director cuts away to the crowd just as we get to see.
He went to Cliff Richard. Did he?
Well, it was beyond belief. It was absolutely beyond belief. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that's not tennis, is it? I don't like to see that at the All England Club.
Oh, I love it. I don't worry about that. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. Boyle Sports has said, Fairy House lads, we can sort you out as sponsors, no problem. So come back a minute. We'll have to do that, won't we? Can you get some golf as well, please, Boyle Sports? Yeah. Nice round of golf, and then
there we go.
How about that?
Time for a bit of class. Bring a bit of class.
Absolutely.
Don't like that. How are you guys?
Well, we're all right.
It looks dark where you are, Diane. It's quite dark. And you, what time of the day is it where you are?
It is 9:24 a.m.
9:24 a.m. No, Bruce is in the dark because he can't get his lighting to work. But sorry, Bruce, you're the presenter. You go for it. Yeah.
No, we've got a few. We've had all sorts of hiccups. I was late on parade. I'm too dark, and all the golfers I fancy aren't winning. But anyway, the quality of the transmission has gone up a notch now. You're here, Noxie. How are you? What's the latest? What's the news? What's happening in your life?
Good. I'm great. Well, it's 4th of July weekend here in the US. So I'm going to a little pool party later, which is not as exciting being with child, but I'll get to watch everyone else having a really good time. So that'll be fun.
Have you had loads of people on asking for a lift?
Yeah, do you know, it's so funny because I'm actually going on a bachelorette party next weekend down to Key West, and we're flying from Orlando. So everyone's like, oh my gosh, you are the driver. So because they're thinking for the Sunday when we arrive back, they're all going to be a little bit worse for wear, I imagine. And I'll be the fresh one. So I don't mind, I guess.
You're missing out, aren't you? 4th of July and it's a bachelorette part. That's the what we call a hen do.
Yeah, hen do. I keep saying hen do over here, and people are like,
yeah, don't worry, we get it. We get hen do.
When is the due date then, Diane? Because when you get really big, when it's close, you can't get the steering wheel. Yeah, the steering wheel gets blocked by your belly.
I'm not due until November, so we're halfway actually. We've just hit the halfway.
You're fine. Yeah, you're fine.
Right, let's do golf. Remind us who you went for this week, because you've been on a hot run on Pickswise, haven't you? Been tipping winners left, right, and centre. Has the run continued this week, or is it juddered to a halt?
No, it's good. Well, the John Deere Classic obviously is because just with the schedule time, a lot of the top guys have had a big run since the US Open, and then we've got the Genesis Scottish Open and then the Open Championship next week. So the John Deere kind of suffered in that sense, and a lot of people were really stating that it was a weaker field. But I'm very happy to say that my top pick could go wire to wire and win this today in JT Poston. So I know I picked him at he was 55-1 when I got him. Actually, looking at the leaderboard right now, 3 of my picks are there or thereabouts. I picked JT, obviously, Denny McCarthy and Callum Tarran. So I picked Callum Tarran for a top 20, so that's looking pretty good right now, and Denny McCarthy for a top 10. So I'm like, oh my gosh, we could have the triple whammy today at the John Deere Classic.
Oh my goodness. Have you had a bet as well?
Well, the JT Poston one for sure, because I was like, oh my gosh, my 55-1. After he finished runner-up at the Travellers, he played so well last week that I thought going to a course like this, it really suits his game. And he talked openly about the fact that he was so happy with where his game was. So I thought he's going to capitalize on this week. And so it could be a very profitable Sunday, I'm hoping.
Has JT Poston got the minerals to get over the line?
Yeah, well, he won the Wyndham Championship a couple of years ago now, and he was bogey-free for the whole week and played great on the Sunday. So, I think so. And then at the Travellers last week, we saw him shoot a 64 on the Sunday, and he put himself right up into it. And when Thagala bladed that bunker shot on 18, then JT jumped all the way up to second place. So I think he's, from what, I mean, I know him pretty well. I've interviewed him a lot, and he's a very calm, cool, collected guy. The emotion doesn't really go up and down. He's very even keel. So I think he'll be great today.
Is he one of your favourites to interview?
Yeah, super nice guy, really, really nice guy. One of the companies I work with, we do some work with JT. So so I know him and his family pretty well, and he's just a really nice person. So yeah, good guy. I hope he wins today for me and for him.
Absolutely. Well, you've impressed Peter Davis, who just came up out here, and he said serious tip in that. And Peter, if you go on to Pixwise every week, obviously check out Stephen Racing Post, but Diane every week on Pixwise, some fantastic tips. You are in ridiculously hot form. And if Poston wins today as well, the pressure's going to be on going into the Scottish Open, of course.
I know. And next week with the Scottish Open, there's also the Barbasol that's happening here in the US on the PGA Tour. So I'm going to do picks for both. But yeah, the pressure is going to be on for the Scottish Open. I know that already. But I mean, the field looks amazing. I read today like 14 of the world top 15 are going to be teeing it up next week. So, I mean, it's just being Scottish, obviously. I'm so happy for the next couple of weeks in Scottish golf. It's going to be incredible.
Sorry,
your brother's playing in that. Russell's playing in the Scottish Open.
Yep. He's flying over today, so he's super excited. And he's not in the Open yet, but obviously there's spots up for grabs next week at the Renaissance Club. So,
and if he had have joined LIV, he wouldn't have been allowed to play in the Scottish Open. So he made a good decision not to join LIV.
Well, see, this is what I'm slightly concerned about, because there's not so much R Knox getting the call from LIV. We still don't know whether D Knox Ballas because she hasn't ruled herself out yet. We asked her last time, and she was like, "Well, we'll see." But the way you're tipping now, your value's gone up and up and up. So if they come knocking, you make sure you ask for plenty, won't you?
Well, I will. I promise you that. But I did tip Pat Perez to do well at the Portland LIV Golf event, and I think he shot an 80 yesterday. However, his team, he's on Dustin Johnson's team, and they won. So, I mean, quite nice when you shoot an 80 in the final round and still walk away with your prize money plus, what was it, like $750,000.
That team thing is nonsense, isn't it, Diane? I mean, they're all going, did you see the press conference last week? They're all going, the thing I'm like, Deschambault's going, the thing that really excites me is the team element. No, it doesn't. It's just rubbish. They've got stupid names. No one engages with that. I mean, whatever you think of LIV, the team element is rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it was Patrick Reed and his caddy. They had put a picture on wearing all the Four Aces gear. They had the T-shirt, they had the hats. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the team thing. I love team golf when we have it. Ryder Cup, President's Cup. I think it's amazing because it's novel and it really gets everyone exciting because they look forward to it for so long. But I heard Taylor Gooch do an interview. He was on the winning Four Aces team, and he said, the atmosphere out here is like the President's Cup or the Ryder Cup. And I'm like, well, you've never played in either, so I don't think you really know. And I thought, come on, like, it's great if people are enjoying golf and it's new and exciting. Like, you want everyone to be entertained, and if they're spectating, to have a great time. But I don't think we can compare the second LIV event to a Ryder Cup just yet.
No, not just yet. And I see Paul Casey's gone across. Did that surprise you?
No. If anything, I think it surprised me that Paul Casey's committing to play golf because he's been withdrawing left, right, and centre with injuries for the past however many months. So, obviously you hope that he's healthy, and this is a new platform for him, I guess. But nah, that didn't surprise me. I read something that a lot of the guys are with the same management company, and when you look through the list, they're pretty much all playing on the LIV Golf Tour now. So I don't know, read into that what you will, but I think the writing was on the wall for Casey.
Right, we're going to get a tip from you for the Irish Open because Steve's tipped Adrian Meronk, but he's just bogeyed the 6, which is not good news at all. So Boyle Sports will go 15-8 John Catlin. He's the new favourite. 2 Adrian Meronk. And then it's 8 Jorge Campillo, 9 Espen Kofstad. Had you ever heard of Espen Kofstad before today, by the way, Dan?
I hadn't. I'm ashamed to admit that I hadn't. I'm sorry.
No, honestly, don't worry about it. No one's heard of him. Absolutely not. There you go, Steve. 6-1 David Law, and then 14 Zanotti. So out of those, if I put a $5 bill in your hand, who would you have it on?
I think I would go with John Catlin. just the experience. Obviously, he's won at the Irish Open before, so I think I would go with Catlin. But the name that really is creeping up, Ryan Fox. And I always think Ryan Fox is a dangerous one when he's in contention. And not that I'm like name dropping here, but I think back to when he was in a playoff with my brother at the Irish Open a couple of years ago. And I, it would be that was an incredible win for Russell, who sunk a 40-foot putt in regulation to get into the playoff, and then had an identical putt for birdie to win the playoff, which he made. And then Fox had a pretty short putt. It was maybe like, I don't know, 10, 12 feet, and hit the hole, kind of lipped around and came out. So maybe it's a little bit of redemption. Maybe Ryan Fox is due the win at this tournament.
He's been in amazing form, isn't he, Ryan Fox?
Yeah.
His results on the DP World Tour are just astonishingly good. When he plays in the majors, he always seems to flop, but in the regulation events, he's awesome. Just before you go, Diane, can I ask you how many Twitter followers you got? Because Bruce was earlier on discussing the real measure of a person is how many Twitter followers they've got. I think you've got the edge on him. So,
I've got 41.3 thousand.
41.3 thousand. One of whom I'm told is Barack Obama. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I remember seeing that years ago and was like, what a string. I don't think I've ever tweeted at Barack Obama in my life. I don't know, maybe I have, but I saw that years ago. I didn't know he still did, so that's nice.
No, he's a big fan. He's a big fan.
Brilliant. Yeah, 41. You've done me there. Absolutely.
How many do you have, Bruce?
29.
Who's your most famous follower?
Probably Michael Owen. Yeah, got Michael Owen. Caraher. Jamie, I like having a couple of big ones because I'm pathetic like that, and sort of get all excited about and starstruck. So there's a couple there, but I had
6.4 million. 6.4 million down.
No,
I quit because I just couldn't handle the pressure.
Honestly, Diane, every time someone said, "Oh, Steve, that tip was rubbish," he'd launch into them like ferociously.
I didn't launch into
just
them.
Block them.
I just didn't like it.
Just block
them right away. That's what I do, and I don't get a lot of bad messages from people, but if I ever see one, I just block it, and then it's erased from my brain, and I never have to.
Exactly.
Occasionally, I'll reply and then block them, so I don't.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what you've got to do, because the way I see it, Twitter is like a great big pub. And if you walked into a pub and someone abused you, you would avoid them, wouldn't you? Do whatever you could to get them out of your life. You don't need people in your life who are rude or abusive or boring or anything like that. So you do just block.
So true. And I always think before you tweet, I imagine all my followers like in a stadium. That maybe sounds a little bit egotistical, but if you think of all those people like standing out in front of you, how confident would you feel saying something on a microphone in front of them? So that's how I always think about it. If it was a dumb thing to say, I'm like, just don't write it.
Oh, I like it. I always think there should be I wish my phone had a breathalyzer, and if I'd had too much to drink, it would disconnect Twitter. I think that would be a good idea. I think that would help, Matt.
Yeah, you should. I think a lot of people could benefit from that.
Definitely. Diane, good luck with JT Poston. Okay. Good luck for the next couple of weeks. With your hen do and your 4th of July. Most importantly, with the bro up in Scotland. Hope he does well there. Hope he gets into the Open. You're not coming over for it, are you?
No, I wish I was, but because I'm going to be away in Key West next weekend, I've said to all the girls, listen, I have to keep up with what's happening in the Scottish Open. So when they're all hungover in the mornings, I'll be on the laptop watching the golf. Yeah. But I'm going to be insanely jealous because obviously half of the golfing world is going to be over in Scotland, and I'm going to be so jealous of all the updates and whatnot. But it'll be amazing. I hope they have good weather, and the fans are going to be out having a fantastic time, whatever.
Brilliant. And we're doing a Sweet Spot Live for the final round of the Open. We would love you to join us. Will you come on?
Yes, I would love to. I cannot wait. Best week of the year, so I would love to.
Brilliant.
Lovely. Thanks for joining us. Bachelorette party then, can we like Paulina Johnson's?
Not going to be quite like that.
What goes on in Key West? No, was it Key West? You're going to
Key West. Hey, I'll put it on Twitter. Then everyone can see what's going on.
Yeah, put it on
Twitter. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Diane. Speak to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Have fun.
Brilliant. The brilliant Diane Knox-Ballas. Give her a follow. Get her even more followers. And don't forget to check her out every week on Pickswise.com. That is the Racing Post's sister sports betting site in America, where Diane Knox is an absolute superstar tipster. Back to the golf then, Steve. God, that uplifted us, didn't it? Isn't it nice to have Diane on? I mean, I do get the old
nice,
teeth,
isn't she? She's
the
just
teeth
so
envy
nice
again. But yeah,
I just get everything envy. I just think she's living the dream, but she deserves it because you can tell how nice she is. Like, we're a couple of scoundrels, aren't we? Really, we don't deserve to be in the company of people like Diane Knox-Ballas.
It's true, actually. Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Let's be honest.
Ball Sports, you trying to tell me the pride of South London, Wilfred Zaha, doesn't follow you, Bruce? He doesn't, and not only that, even more crippling. CPFC at CPFC, Crystal Palace Football Club. I was one of only 60 Twitter feeds they followed back in the day when they first started up, and they unfollowed me. And the day that Crystal Palace unfollowed me on Twitter was just I say dark day. This is looking at my camera, which seems to be getting worse. I mean, I'm just basically a silhouette, aren't I? But anyway, that was dark.
The Irish Open is often played in murky conditions like that, so maybe you can just pretend you were trying to make it more atmospheric.
Okay, mate. Should we look at the leaderboard, Steve, and get some betting?
I think we should. I may need to take a comfort break.
Okay.
Do you want to go for the leaderboard? Take a deep dive in the leaderboard.
I'll go through the leaderboard and the latest betting, and you can go for a wee, okay? Right.
Thank you.
Quickly. Okay, guys, we've got a four-way go at the top, believe it or not. There's 4 players on -15. The Scot, David Law, who's -5 through 11. He's -15, along with Espen Kofstad, whoever he is, John Catlin, and Adrian Meronk. One behind on 14 are Tristan Lawrence and Jorge Campillo. And then on -13, we've got Ryan Fox, Fabrizio Zanotti, Aaron Wright and Southgate at -12. And then it's -11, Ollison, Lowry, Morrison and Rosner. They're still quite interesting because they could get themselves into a place. But it is getting very, very exciting, and reflecting the exciting state of play is Boyle Sports Betting. As we watch Meronk's approach to the par 4 7th, it's pretty good. He's left himself a 12-footer for birdie. Boyle Sports, who, by the way, bet a 5th, 1, 2, 3 if you want a bit of each way action. They're 13-8, Adrian Meronk, 7-2, John Catlin, 6-1, Espen Kofstad, 7, Jorge Campillo, 16, Fabrizio Zanotti. Oh, God, sorry, 7-1, David Law. Boyle Sports, you need to get David Law up your list. He keeps catching me out. He's too low. Let me see if... I don't want to refresh in case I lose the feed. 28, Ryan Fox. Tristan the Piston is 10-1 now. Tristan Lawrence. So he's come right back into it. He's gone rattled off 3 straight birdies to get himself to -14. So it is all happening. Let's work through some of your comments. Thank you so much for watching on this Sunday afternoon. Let's see what else we've got. Fox is bound to have one bad hole before the end of the round, says Resting Pilgrim. Well, I know what you mean. He was a bit flaky last week, wasn't he? But we'll never know. Webb Simpson, we were talking earlier, we were asking for your golfers that you never want to back again. And you said that you don't. Where has he gone? Oh, we've had so many things coming. I've lost track of the feed. But so, Kevin says Webb Simpson is a no-bet kind of guy. Tiernan Murray says Thomas Peters reminds me of Kyrgios. Will says, at least with the European Tour, there's no Rolex ad. You're right, Will. No Rolex ads. Love that. Matt Smith's on from Monterey. Good man. Up with a lark for this. Always a highlight. Matt Smith is miles behind us. Do you want to speak, Steve?
Well, I was just going to say hello to Matt Smith. Yeah, I like to hear the regulars on here. Yeah, it's a good commitment to be up in Monterey and watching us.
Let's see what time it is where he is. He's 8 hours behind, so it's 5:45, I think, or something like that. Or 6:45. It's a long way anyway.
Jog along those beautiful beaches soon, wouldn't he? Imagine waking up in the Monterey Peninsula and going on for a jog on those beautiful beaches.
Dugro Zugro is here. Well done, Dugro. Good to have you on. Key West is the place to be if you're looking for immortality. What does that mean? I have no idea.
Living forever. Yeah. Right, Diane Knox-Ballas going to live forever.
I don't know. Kevin McConaughey says, where does Diane post her tips? Like I say, go on to pixwise.com, which is the Racing Post's relatively new. It's about a year old. It's a US-focused sports betting website and app. So if you want great tips on all the US sport, go to Pixwise, and Diane is on there every week. Tim Walsh says, can you ask Steve, does he give Grillo a chance today? No mention of him in the write-up today. I guess that's probably... No, he doesn't.
Well, no, he's just such a frustrating player. Yeah, I know there was no mention in the write-up. I mean, yeah, he putted surprisingly well last night, didn't he? Grillo is one of those players, like we were discussing earlier on, the player that always lets you down, then you eventually give up on him. He's very much in that category for me. I was a big Grillo loyalist for a long time. But he would be the fourth most likely winner for me. Beyond the
Here's
other
Meronk's
three.
birdie putt, Steve. Do you want to get excited about this? Let's see if we can get excited.
I do want to get excited.
Is he left it short?
A bit of a dribbler. Oh, that's a bad sign. Bad sign. Don't eat your putter. You're going to need that. You're going to need that, son.
We've got a message from John Gorton. He says, it's all rubbish, Bruce. I've literally no idea what he's referring to, but I suppose he's right. Whatever it is. That covers most things, doesn't it, Steve? It's all rubbish. Yeah. I agree with you, John. If you want to come back on and be more specific, you can. But yeah, you're right.
I'd like to add to that. We're all going to hell in a handcart.
Well, that's rubbish. That's rubbish, Steve. I'm not having that. No. P. Burns says, this reminds me of the old Norm Macdonald Masters live streams. Good show. What are the Norm Macdonald Masters live streams? Does that mean anything to you, Steve?
No, that doesn't mean much to me.
Okay, fair enough. All right, then.
Good content, lads. Good content.
Yeah. What else have we got?
Oh,
Steve,
okay. Campillo's having a tantrum there. He doesn't have many tantrums, but he's disgusted with himself there. Or is he disgusted with the sand in the bunker? I hate it when they blame it on the sand in the bunker. He's not going to win this golf tournament, is he?
It looks like I'll be able to say I laid the law and the law won if things continue. That is the comment of the day so far from Blue Betcrow. I love that. That's very good. Now, obviously, I'm not happy for you that you might be laying law. And here is law, because if he drains this birdie putt, he goes to -16. An incredible run of form, but he hasn't quite done. Tell us a little bit about David Law, Steve.
Yeah, he's won one low-grade European Tour event. Typically tidy player, a bit powder puff. He's not one I like to side with too often. Is Jacko Senior? What a bad day he's had at the office. He really has dropped like a stone. I mean, what did he make on that par 5 we tipped against him? Because Meronk made a bit of a mess.
Oh yeah, that's a very good point. I better check.
He might still have won that.
If anyone followed us in on that, he might have won it. Yeah, because he made par, didn't he? Senior, God, look at him. He's miles back. No, unfortunately, he parred that, Steve.
They both parred it.
Have you sussed out another? Have you got another holes bet for us at any point coming up?
Well, actually, I just wanted to support my man Adrian, as I like to call him, on the par 5. So I think we're about to ball
the 8th coming up, haven't we?
Yeah, we got the 8th. So let's get
involved. We're pretty too late. We might be too late. Yeah, the 10th is a par 5 as well. Let's have a look.
P. Burns says he hopes Adrian gets it done. I think we all hope that, don't we? I mean,
not everyone. Other people have backed other things. So
there is that. But
right, here we go. Let's have a look and see if we can get. Oh no, we got the whole 10 winner.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, that's 8 to 11 Meronk, 20 to 21 Senior.
Okay, no, that's fair enough, isn't it? It's better than we got last time, and they're dangling carrots for us now. But
and of course, if they tie, it's a push, so you just lose a tiny amount of money. Are you interested in Adrian Meronk's score on the 10th? He's 10 to 11 a par, 6 to 5 a birdie, and 11 to 2 a bogey or worse. Birdie or eagle, obviously that means.
Give me that. Yeah, I'll have that. He's going to birdie it. I'll have that 6 to 5. Thank you very much.
All right then, mate. You've got it. Well, I say you've got it. I'm not Ball Sports, but I'm sure if you wanted it with them, you could do. It's very exciting, this, isn't it? Look at the latest betting.
Really exciting. I'm so pleased that Meronk's given it a good fist. He has generated a lot of doubters, because he's squandered so many chances. But how long has he been out there? I mean, you've got to serve your apprenticeship, and he's not been on the circuit that long. I know he has squandered. Winning isn't easy, and that first one is the hardest. And wouldn't it be great to see the first Polish winner on the European Tour?
It certainly would. 15 to 8 Meronk, 9 to 2 Kofstadt, 5 Catlin. Why do I keep going Caitlin? It's driving me mad.
I don't know. Have you got a mistress called Caitlin or something?
No, I have not. I don't know why I do it. I'm getting senile. 7 Thriston the Piston Lawrence, 7 David Law, 10 Campillo, 12 Fox, 12 Zanotti, and then 3 figures the rest. It's really exciting, isn't it, this now, Steve?
It is. I mean, Tristan the Piston owes us nothing, does he? If he wins, then we can accept that. We love Tristan.
He's Thriston, isn't he?
Tristan the Piston. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of feel-good stories here, but I think Adrian Meronk trumps it. I mean, the whole of Eastern Europe be cheering him on. I mean, very easy for us to forget about the troubles in the world in our little island over here. But they need a Philip over there, and this obviously is not a huge Philip on the grand scheme of things, but every little helps.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not quite sure how much of a boost Adrian Meronk winning the Irish Open will be to the East European region, but you never know, as you say. Right, our horse racing chat again says, Will, if Desert Crown turns up in the King George, he wins, doesn't he, Bruce? I suppose he does. He's very good, isn't he? I just don't know who else is going to be up against him. I think that German horse that won the Arc might be up against him. Matt Smith from Monterey says, I'd love to see him jogging around on the beach. Followed by a round at Cyprus. The reality is I've got a 4-week-old boy.
Oh, cripes. Yeah. That's a full-time job.
John Gorton just clarifies it's the LIV that's all rubbish. At the moment, John, I think you're right. The question is how long it stays that way. I mean, it's not going to become perfect, just like that, is it? But, if this drip of talent across there continues, then one of the dangers, I was thinking about this, Steve, with the LIV, as Thriston puts his into the greenside bunker.
So unlucky there, so unlucky, yeah.
At what point do sponsors of, the Travellers Championship and all these other tournaments, at what point do they say, look, guys, the fields are just getting decimated here, and therefore we're not interested in sponsoring? I think we're a way away from that just yet, aren't we?
Oh, I think we're way away from that. Yeah. They're still getting, packed out PGA Tour venues, and everyone's having a really great time and buying all the burgers. So no, I think we're a long way from that.
Meronk has found through.
No, it hasn't scuttled through, is it? It hasn't scuttled through.
On the 603-yard par 5 8th. And I was watching Radar's little course guide earlier, Steve. And the one thing about this is if you stay on the fairway, this is why the likes of Campillo and Zanotti are doing well. If you stay on the fairway, you're absolutely fine. But once you go off it, you're in all sorts of... Just seen an eagle for Torbjørn Olesen, who is -13, and thus only 2 back. How about that?
You have. What I would say on the LIV Golf, just one last comment on it, is that they're never going to get access to the most historic golf courses, are they? Yeah, that's going to be their problem. Like, the venues are all going to be pretty rubbish courses that no one's heard of, because the PGA Tour and the European Tour have own the courses, access to the best courses. So I think
Trump next time, aren't they? Is that a good one?
No, it's not. No, it's not a good one. No, I don't think they're going to.
Near you, is there a place in Dorset called Bedminster?
Bedminster. Yeah, take the D out. Yeah, Bedminster. I think Martin Clunes lives there, I believe. Clunesy. Yeah. Clunesy lives the high life in a Bedminster mansion. I think that I got a lot of time for Clunesy.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he?
He's a great. Yeah, he's just one of those fellas that sort of calms you down whenever you see him.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Not that I ever have. I've never been to Bedminster. Danny says, Bruce, would you ever bet on the Tour de France or just a fan? I've had bets on every single Tour de France since about 1985, and I've backed, very boringly, I've backed Pogacar because I think the only way you can lose is bad luck. And I've also backed Jumbo Visma to be the top team. I think you can still get 2-1. I think that's a big price.
Oh, I thought there was a fella called Jumbo Visma, that Japanese guy.
A cyclist called Jumbo Visma. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Big Jumbo, there he is, trying to get up the Alp. Yeah.
He's good downhill.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
Did you ever back Lance Armstrong in the day? Do you feel like you should return your stakes on Lance Armstrong? Did you? I assume you backed him to win the Tour de France a few years
times. I did. Yeah. That's one of my big regrets about my career as a writer, is that I fell for Lance Armstrong, and I was kind of defending him and saying, no, he's just brilliant, he's not a drugs cheat. And of course that looks absolutely ridiculous now. So I'm pretty making me look an even bigger tit than I am. Thriston Lawrence out of the bunker there, he's got the devil's own job to make that.
Ryan Fox is going to go to 15 under par. I mean, we're the cunning Fox may be ruining the Meronk party here.
Catlin's got a longish par putt which he's missed and sent it a little bit by, so he's dropped out.
That's good news. That's good news for Meronk.
This is really exciting. This couldn't be changeable at this, could it?
No. It's a really, really exciting golf tournament, and 20 under par, which I set for the winning score. I mean, no one's really producing. So if you get the 20 on the par, you're definitely going to win, I think, because the golf is not of the highest quality. And
Tom Barris, is there any early fancies for the Open? You don't like all this early stuff, do you, Steve?
Well, we haven't got long to wait now. No, we're very, very close to getting. Yeah, we have a good look at the JP Invitational. It's fantastic that that's on Sky for us. So Monday and Tuesday we can have a look at all the best players in the world, bar Victor Hovland, who may have some sort of injury issue. The fact he's not there, it's a bit. He stands out like a sore thumb. By not being in that field.
Diane said 14 of the world's top 15 players are in the Scottish Open. Is that right? I mean, I'm not saying she's inaccurate, but that's...
What did she say? I
mishear it. Did she say that 14 of the top 15 world's golfers are in the Scottish Open?
I don't know whether she said that. I was too bedazzled by her teeth to fully digest that, but I don't think that's the case. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
We'll look into that next week. We take each week as it comes, don't we? But no,
that's on Thursday week, though. That's the bottom line, isn't it?
Well, we've got so much going on. I mean, I did the July golf plan for the organ yesterday, and sent it to my superiors. And basically July is just stacked with golf. I mean, the week after the Open, you got 4 blooming tournaments. You got a seniors major and a lady major.
Wow. When are you off to Sunshine Isle?
Late August. Unless my jumbo jets cancelled. I mean, they're cancelling jumbo jets left, right and centre, aren't they?
Yeah, no, man. It's no good, is it?
No,
right, we'll do a quick re-sync, okay, just in case anyone's watching. This is Campio at 9, okay, so we've both got to say duh when he actually connects. So if you're watching, you can sync up duh. Isn't a very happy Campio, does he? He's only a little chap, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he's at the heart of the green, isn't he? But no one's taking this by the scruff, have they? The proverbial scruff.
This might be a bit of a sort of, one of those tournaments that are fairways and greens. A kind of Fred Funk type player just keeps chipping away and getting it done. This is Lawrence for birdie at the par 5-10.
This is Tristan the Piston.
Tristan the Piston. Yeah, that's it. He's pulled back.
It's a game of fine margins. His second shot just needed another yard to set up a very makeable eagle putt, and there he is making a humdrum par.
We've got such an amazing betting market here. We've had a couple of these shows, haven't we, Steve, where it's all been a little bit stagnant, but the betting...
the Runaway Masters winner, that was actually quite enjoyable. But the David
Law's on it was.
Dance floor. The
here then is. Here's the latest from Boyle Sports on the Irish.
See how limp that flag was, Bruce? You see how limp that flag was?
No wind there. Yeah. He's got hang on a sec. Meronk's third to the par 5/8, and he's out of the real rough stuff. He's got 129 yards. He's going to carve this out with a wedge, and let's see how he gets on. But it's going to be a decent shot. This if he's going to set up a birdie chance. It's on its way. He's skulking his way towards the green, but he's left it way short. Too heavy. Right, Meronk is 9-4, but I suspect after that shot he might go out a little bit. And then we've got 4-1 Espen Kofstad. Oh yeah, Meronk's 3-1 now. Adrian Meronk is 3-1 the field. Do you ever do that? Do you ever talk like an on-course bookmaker? Do you like doing that?
I do sometimes, yeah.
It's funny that, isn't it? When we used to work in the office, there'd always be someone who talked like an on-course bookmaker, wouldn't they? You just get people suddenly going, "Fire the field." You would. It's funny that, isn't it?
What about the fella that made Greyhound impressions just intermittently? Do you remember him?
What do you mean?
He just be daydreaming occasionally and just start doing.
Really? Who was that?
Yeah. Oh no, I don't want to name him. He's a good lad. Good lad. Don't want to name him. I've got some technical issues with this this microphone. I'm going to have to come out and in again. 1 second.
In to go out. Okay, I'll take you through the betting while Steve is doing that. 3-1 Adrian Meronk, 7-2 Espen Kofstad, 5-1 David Law, 6-1 John Catlin, 10-1 Jorge Campeo, Ryan Fox into 5-1. Goodness me. Fabrizio Zanotti is 9-1, and it's 12-1 Tristan the Piston, 10-1 Jorge Campeo. Sorry, they're all in the wrong order. Forget the rest. Well, I'm not going to forget the rest, actually, because so much is happening so far, and none of the leaders are getting away. So I don't think we can forget the rest. Steve's still out. But don't forget as well, if you go on Sports Books, there are all sorts of extra markets. If you just click on the two balls, all the other tops by country and region, tournament groups, they're all there. There are literally thousands of markets to choose from. So loads and loads going on. A cup of tea coming in. Thank you very much. Great news. I'm delighted by that. I needed that. Right then, Steve. So it's 3-1 the field. Meronk is threes with Ball Sports. 4-1 Kofstadt. 5 Law and 5 Fox. The crafty Fox is getting into it. Who do you see as the main danger now to Meronk?
Well, I think Ryan Fox is the main danger to Meronk. Yeah. It's a case of whether the pride of Poland is going to get eaten by the Fox. Because Lucas Herbert's drifted out of this. I thought it was going to be a strong, title. Trying to defend this title there, but he's failed miserably, isn't he? So Fox and Meronk are the two to concentrate on for my money. Big moments coming up for Meronk on that chip. Big moments.
Okay.
Sorry, Danny. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, can we just get Darren Walker's question up on screen, please? The Scottish Open is a PGA Tour event now, and that's why a lot of top Americans are playing. That's
co-sanctioned. Yeah. Good point. Co-sanctioned. The Barbersoul's co-sanctioned. Yeah, the Barbersoul's co-sanctioned as well in the same week. So, yeah, you'll see a lot of cross-contamination, so to speak, as use a bit of a barbecue party.
So
we are in trouble here.
Oh, he could drop a shot here, Meronk. So you could wrap up victory in the European Tour Order of Merit by winning the Barbersoul, theoretically. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that they're allowed to play in either of those events now. The DP World Tour guys can play in the Barbersoul, and the PGA Tour guys can play in the Scottish Open. Well, most of the PGA Tour guys could anyway.
Could you hear the noisy toaster there, by the way?
Yeah, that was very loud, wasn't it? So Noxie might be right. I take each week as it comes, but they use the World Wide Web. I mean, I knew it was going to be a strong Scottish Open. I didn't realize it was going to be as strong as that.
Well, I mean, I guess if they're all over here for the JP McManus Invitational, they're not going to go back home, and so perhaps they all are having 2-week jaunt in Scotland, which makes it even more exciting. We need to check that out. Yeah,
I should have checked that out. I do apologise, but I think they normally like to play a classical links course, don't they, before going into open combat? The Renaissance is one of these sort of modern semi-links. I don't think it's good prep. I think Rory McIlroy's taking the best route. Have a little bit of fun.
This is big now, isn't it? Meronk.
Play some links golf.
Meronk with a curly 9-footer for par at the par 5, and this would be the second time he's dropped a shot on a par 5 today, which wouldn't do, would it?
A good stroke. Yes, Adrian. That was beautiful, wasn't it? Well,
just cup your ear in the direction of your neighbour's house to see if there's any cheering.
Yeah, take an earphone out. Yeah, no? Real atmosphere over there. Can hear corks popping. I'll go and knock on his door later.
Okay, Danny wants to. He could do that. That'd be very peculiar, wouldn't it? I've started going out with this lad, and there's a bloke down the road who tips golfers for a living, and he came round after some Polish bloke had won with a can of Polish lager, and what's he called? Chris didn't have a clue what he was on about. Yeah,
that would be very awkward, wouldn't it?
Let's deal with Danny's question. Thanks for watching this Sweet Spot Live. Danny says, Steve, how many international football shirts do you own? Was it the US shirt that got you into trouble in the pub back in the day at a World Cup? I can remember a story like that. What happened?
Yeah, rightly so. Yeah. I think England were playing USA, weren't they? And I wanted USA to win that game, if I remember rightly, because I was really impressed with the USA squad and fancied them to do very well. Tristan the Piston makes a birdie. Yeah, I've probably got about 20 in total now. Lots of them are in the loft. It's very hard to throw away a football jersey, isn't it? I find it. My wife gets very upset with me sometimes when she suggests it's time for that one to go to the charity shop. But I'm all for helping charities, but I just like my football shirts.
What's your favourite? Are they 20 different countries, or is there quite a sort of 5 or 6 of them England tops?
It might be 20 different. No, lots of English. Yeah, the Brazil top's the best one. It's got some fancy sweat reducer in it. Really high-class Brazil shirt. Maybe I'll just have to back them this year just to bring that one back out.
Yeah. Well, I'd back the team you fancy, and then if you haven't got that shirt, it's a good excuse to go and buy it, isn't it?
Yeah. There's nothing like it, is there? A major international football tournament.
No, there isn't. I like to say though, I've tried really hard to tolerate a winter World Cup, but one of the joys of the Euros and the World Cup, it's in the summer. You can go to have a barbecue, or you can go around to a friend's house. You can watch it in the pub. You know, just a singlet and your shorts on and your flip flops, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
But as a one-off, Bruce, I think we should embrace it just to try it for one-off. I mean, watching a football match with a Yule log and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Mulled wine. I
hate mulled wine, but it's the one thing I can't abide.
Is that because you've had one of those bad experiences where you got rat-arsed on it and shunned it, or you just don't like the
taste? I just think it just ruins wine. Yeah, what's wrong with a wine? Why does it have to be mulled? It's just,
I don't quite know how you mull wine, but I quite like it. I love a mulled wine.
Just cook it, don't you? It seems to just be cooked wine.
Have you ever been to a Christmas market on the continent?
Don't think I have actually. No, I've been to a Christmas market in the United Kingdom.
What, in like Weymouth?
Bournemouth, yeah.
Bournemouth. It's not quite the same. My brother lives in Vienna, and we used to go and stay with him quite in the winter. And not that we've fallen out, but we just haven't been for a bit. But we used to go to the Vienna Christmas market. Honestly, it's sensational. It's the Christmassiest thing of all time.
Yeah, I suppose if you're really cold,
that's the thing.
Then a mulled wine could serve a purpose, but
that's it. They have all these stands with lovely steam coming up from the pots of mulled wine. It's brilliant.
Okay, no, fair enough. Now I can see the benefits there.
Couple from Peter Davis says, bunch of bottle jobs. I'm reading that in a Paul Keeley voice. That's the sort of way he'd say it, isn't it? A bunch of bottle jobs. And then he comes back with, I've backed Fox most weeks except this week. Well, that is galling, Peter. If Fox comes and does you, that would not be good, would it?
It's just
hang on, we've had a tip for the 3 o'clock at Market Raisin from Dugro Zugro. Casimiri Abbey in the 3 o'clock at Market Raisin. Well, unfortunately, that race is off now. We've seen that too late. Oh my God, I hope it doesn't win. I hate missing out on a winning tip. I'm going to get the race up on my app.
I try to avoid horse tips. I've had to, actively trying to avoid people who send me horse tips because they've cost me so much money through the years. So I just...
It's 15 to 8. Hang on a sec. Let's see what's happening in the race. He's got red and yellow colours. Oh, they're coming to 2 out. He's up there. He's in. No, he made a mess of 2 out. He made a complete Horlicks. So coming down to the last. No, he's 4th. He can't win. Bad luck. Bad luck.
Dugro.
Right then. CT Tempestwood says, are we doing a watch along for the Scots Open and a preview of the big one, lads? The answer to your first question is no, we're not. The next Sweet Spot Live will be 2 weeks hence, when we will be commentating on the final round of the Open. And the big preview will on Tuesday's Sweet Spot. We will be doing the Scottish Open and the Barbasol. And then the following Tuesday, we will be doing the Open. So look forward to you joining us for those two. Kevin says, is the British Open the one tournament Steve would like to win the most? I presume you mean if he was a golfer, or do you mean as a tipster?
Yeah. Absolutely, it is the one I'd like to win the most as a golfer. We have had it as a tipster a few times with Padraig Harrington. He's been my most productive Open tip. But I remember texting Darren Clark. I'll do a bit of name dropping here.
Oh, here we go.
He'd won the Open, and we were sort of talking about how much more of a satisfying win that is than winning, say, that any of the others. I think if I had to pick one, I'd pick that one.
Hello, Kofstadt with a very makeable eagle putt. This is to go 2 shots clear. This is at the 10th.
He's got some power in his locker, this boy, I tell you.
What if this goes in? What if this goes in? It's 14 feet, actually. It's on its way. He's missed it left. It's a birdie, and that means Kofstadt will take the lead on his own at -16.
The ball was a cat, and the hole was a set of pigeons, wasn't it? He was trying to throw that cat at the...
Right, viewers, I want you to try and persuade Steve to go back onto Twitter. Only light-heartedly, Steve, because no one should be forced to do it. I mean, just remind everyone why you don't like it, and how much % worse would your life be if you went back on it, do you think?
Yeah, it's a mental health issue. I don't like saying that. Yeah, so it's a bit of a lot of people talk about it these days, don't they? But it's just not good for mental health to be on
Yes,
Twitter.
don't go
I
on.
like to as little exposure as possible. You know, I don't like to be exposed to the world. You know, these sort of things are quite uncomfortable for me. But,
really? I thought you quite enjoyed these ones because we get some nice comments, don't we?
we do get some nice comments, yeah. But yeah, I just don't want to answer questions at the best of times, let alone all the time.
Okay, mate. No, that makes perfect sense. So I'll withdraw that. Don't tell people why he should be on Twitter because he's just told you why he doesn't want to be. And to be honest, mate, I think I remember back in 2008 at work, I had a rubbish old phone, and I said to the big cheeses, I said, can I get a swanky new one of those iPhones? And they said, you can, but only if you go on Twitter. So I thought, Twitter, what's that? And I basically, what am I, 14 years later? Probably better.
I thank the company for not forcing me to go on there, actually, because that's
no one should be forced.
I was sort of I suppose I could generate a lot more interest in our product if I was on there, but I haven't had that conversation yet.
No,
if you did a Saudi on me and paid me £1 million to go on there, then I'd do it. But
be a different thing, then, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, look at little Incy here, little Incy.
Incy's interviewing Adrian there. Yeah. Do you think Adrian should be doing this interview on? Or
no, I don't think he should.
Do an interview, don't you?
Yeah, I don't think he should. But he seems to be taking it in good heart. He's about double the size of it, poor old Incy. To get sore arms pushing the microphone up there.
Well, she's got quite a long arm on that microphone, hasn't she? She's not quite the COVID length one, like the broom handle microphone.
But I always think of Paul Ince. Whenever they say we're cutting to Incy, I always think Paul Ince is going to come out and
that'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. Paul Ince, that could be a good career change, couldn't it? Doing the fairway interviews at the golf. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Governor, call me the governor.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Yeah.
I can't hear what he's saying. Can you? They don't let us have the volume, do they? I'd like to know. No,
he doesn't. What's he going to say? He's not going to say anything of interest.
Oh, he's laughing. He's
laughing. He's just going to wave to the camera. I don't think that's a good sign, Steve. I want steely resolve. In fact, I want to see her just push him away like that, and see him do that to her.
You wanted him to push her away?
No, not push her away physically, but just rebuff the interview request and just say, look, I'm in the zone now.
No, fair enough. Yeah. He's a nice lad, is Adrian, as I like to call him.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a lot of time to recover from the interview.
He hasn't. No, he's gone straight from the interview to hitting this shot.
Incy's virtually playing the shot for him.
Yeah.
He looks happy as Larry, though, doesn't he? Yeah, it's a good, sensible golf shot. He knows he hasn't got to do much to win this. I mean, Foxy's...
Oh, come off. That's a ridiculous statement. He's one behind. He's got three other people.
One behind a fellow with less followers than you. Don't worry about Espen Kostad.
David Law, does that take him to -16 or keep him at -15? Let's take you through the leaderboard, folks, because some of you are watching this without pictures, poor things. Right, we've got Espen Kofstad, the obscure Norwegian, at -16. And then 4 players behind him on -15. Ryan Fox, David Law, Tristan Lawrence and Adrian Meronk. And then on -14, we've got Catlin, Campio and Zanotti. Ollison has finished his round on -13. He's posted a number. Lowry, -12. If he birdies the last, he might sneak in if you take all those extra places, So there'll be people... Ball Sports won't fancy this because I think they were doing 11 and 12 places, weren't they?
Yeah, it'd be the most back player by a long way.
Absolutely. So if he sneaks into the places, they'll be returning a lot of stakes. No one's really... I mean, there's people making a move from the back, aren't there, Steve? But there's people I thought would play a bit better today. I'm really disappointed with Aaron Rye. That -1 up through 14, having birdied the first 2, is not particularly good, is it?
It's all gone awry.
Yes, it has, hasn't it? Very much so. By the way, I wanted you to tell me just very quickly about a guy called Callum Terran, because I was watching the US coverage last night. I didn't really know who this fella was. And then he comes on and does an interview with Amanda. She's not Balionis anymore. She's Amanda
Renner. I spotted that last night.
Yeah, Amanda Renner. She's obviously got hitched there, so that's my heart.
Yeah. And Simon, what's his face, called her Amanda Balionis, didn't he? So he's not up to speed on that. Yeah.
No, but anyway, this Callum Terran starts talking. He's got like a Geordie accent. So tell us about. He's a little-known Brit who's burning it up on the US tour.
Well, if you remember rightly, your friend and colleague Tom Park said he went to school with him, didn't he? Played football against him. Do you remember that? Yeah. Well, we were on the US Open broadcast the other day. And I think he's an old school friend of your mate Parky. So yeah, he's very much from these shores. And he did really well early on in the US Open.
Yeah.
And he's obviously got a bit of ability, but I wouldn't go overexcited. He's not a player that excites me. He's not a player that excites me.
Okay, here's Meronk, who does excite you. He's got a 33-foot birdie putt here at the 9th.
Looks so easy when they put the line out like that, doesn't it?
No, I know. The only thing
tickle it along the line.
Yeah, it's a straight line though, isn't it? All right, here we go. It's on its way. 33 foot. Can he sink this?
Needs a bit of go.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a good line, I believe they say. Blue Greco says TikTok is where it's at these days. I'm not sure about that. I've been on TikTok and it bewilders me. I'm too old for TikTok.
Is that singing and dancing, isn't it, TikTok?
I think so, basically, yeah. Nick Daniels says, Winter World Cup, games on all day when it's cold and dark. Great for me. Summer, there are better things to do, like watch the Tour de France. Well, that's fair enough, Nick. Yeah, I can see that.
Or go to the beach. Yeah, I think you might fall in love with it and you might urge them to do it every year.
I'm not sure about that. I'm really
It's not going to be that hot, is it, actually? They're doing it because of
it's pleasant.
It's going to be pleasant, yeah.
Yeah, it's pleasant. I went to Doha in Qatar in about February once for some horse racing. It was just lovely. It was perfect weather, really nice.
So the people ruling out England because of the weather are barking up the wrong tree, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, I mean it's always hot, isn't it? The World Cup. It won't be any hotter than if you had it in say Germany in the summer. That's the fact of the matter.
That is
John Catlin's 16-1 with Ball Sports.
Yeah, he dropped one. Yeah. I mean, Tristan the Piston's a very interested spectator in this golf tournament now, isn't he? Look, this is to join the lead.
It's Tristan, Steve. How many more times?
Tell you what, he's done really well there. Great pace.
Yeah, he's drained it. In fact, he's now joint favourite, believe it or not, Steve. Do you believe it?
I do believe that.
11-4, Adrian Meronk and Tristan the Piston Lawrence. 7-2, Espen Kofstad. 9-1, David Law. 16, John Catlin. 10, Ryan Fox. 11, Zanotti. 9, Campio. I know not in perfect order. That's how they're appearing on Ball Sports because it's changing so quickly. So there you go.
Espen Kofstad. Let's watch the Twitter followers go up when this one goes in.
It's just a good roll, wasn't it? Do you like that?
Reminds me a bit of
good roll.
Good roll. Put some tuna in it next time.
I like.
He reminds me of Mike Lorenzo Vera. Is that another one that's got a man bun? Mike Lorenzo Vera.
He's got a beard, hasn't he? I don't know about a man bun. Not sure.
I think he has some exotic haircuts. He did a really good job on Patrick Reed the other day on Twitter. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
That would have really appealed to your sense of humour. Yeah, when Patrick Reed joined LIV, Mike Lorenzo Vera was trolling him.
Was he?
And then Patrick Reed blocked him. Reed blocked him, or more likely, Patrick Reed's wife blocked him. I think he's in control of the Twitter accounts. And Mike Lorenzo Vera sent a picture of the block and then said, "See you later, cheat."
Goodness me!
Yeah. All got quite.
Hearing from his lawyer.
Yes,
John Catlin trying to get back in the tournament with a birdie at 11, and he's lipped out. That's unlucky. Yeah, I think we're you still on? Is it the 16th we're playing or 20th of July?
Yes. No, I don't forget anything. I'm like an elephant.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, well, looking forward to that.
Yeah,
we're playing in Winchester of all places, aren't we?
Lovely part of the world, isn't it? Lovely cathedral.
Yeah, absolutely. Birdie putt coming in for Jorge Campillo, and that's feeble, dribbled it wide, so that's no good. So one by one, I wouldn't say people are falling away, but they're failing to capitalise on their chances. Oh, we've got this is our tip hole here, isn't it, Meronk? We've tipped Meronk to beat Senior at the 10th at 8-11.
Yep.
Where is Senior? Oh, he's 5 over through 9. What a terrible start for him. So he's down in tied 25th of all things now.
Foxy needs this close, and he needs this close, and he's put it close.
Oh, that's a brilliant shot. Wow.
Yeah, Foxy needs to set a mark, and he hasn't really got much margin for error.
I think Fox will win this, Steve, you know.
I think he's going to set a mark that's going to get the attention of a lot of the others.
I think he's got every chance of winning this. Really
Watch your
do.
bets. Watch your bets. You got your Tristan Lawrence and your David Law. Watch your bets. Law and Lawrence.
Oh yeah, God. Oh, I see. Yeah, Lawrence. Yeah. Okay.
A lot can go wrong there. Oh, he's having a good time. Oh, they're all having a good time.
They're showing all the youngsters.
The youngsters.
Brilliant crowds this week at Mount Juliet.
He's got his autograph pen.
Nice. That's
Julian
lovely.
Brunn. She's got Julian Brunn's autograph there.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? What a nice, clear autograph. Julian Brunn's guy, hasn't he? He's got a nice short name, of course. Isn't he? Quite jealous there. Because I mean, with my Twitter following, I'm often asked for autographs, and it's such a long name; it takes forever. I did get, funny enough, I went to Sandown yesterday, and I was walking out back through the crowds back to the car, and it was just before the last race, and a few lads were there. It was quite a well-oiled crowd, and I walked past, and these lads going, Bruce, and I looked around. I didn't know what to do, so I sort of gave this pathetic little sort of wave and meekly shuffled off. I don't know what was the play there, do you reckon?
Maybe turn round, go up to them and give them a cuddle.
Oh, come off. You can't do that. It'd be ridiculous.
I'd bring the house down. Wouldn't it bring the house down? I just think contact's the key in those scenarios.
What, you go up and shake them warmly by
hand?
Yeah,
at least a warm handshake. Yeah. I mean, you might have looked a bit too big time there. Just
but I would have looked a bit needy if I'd gone up to them and shook their hand.
Yeah, but what did he want? What did he want you to do? I suppose that's what you're asking me, isn't you? What did he want you to do? I think he probably didn't know what he wanted.
No, he's just having a good day, and he thought, "Oh, there's that moron who works for the Racing Post," and shouted my name as you or I would in that position, probably.
Maybe he got what he wanted.
Maybe. Who knows? Will says, any horses? Oh, hang on a sec. Sorry. No, go back to Reed Barker. Thanks, lads. Great job by Kieran and Sam in the studio today. Thanks very much, as always. Bruce, Steve's rendition of Siwoo Kim, my lord, would do numbers on TikTok. The "this will not be beaten" clip would be huge. That is true, actually. That is the kind of stuff that goes down really well. You know, it's not kind of David Attenborough or, you know, really sort of highbrow production, Steve. It's literally like, you know, a dog sort of barking in a way that it looks like it's singing. That goes down well, or, you know, anything like that. But yeah, the clip of you, the legendary clip from the BBC documentary of you cheering home that dog in the betting shop, and then when you come to that bit, "this will not be beat," it's going to get beat. I mean, it's just brilliant. That would go down so well. You'd probably get 100,000 views for that.
I think I could do some damage on TikTok. I often get people telling me I should do the YouTube clips, because you actually get paid for doing the YouTube if you get it to a certain amount, don't you? People tell me I wouldn't need to work for a living if I just concentrated on doing YouTube clips, but I don't know whether to believe them or not.
No, I don't believe them. He says not wanting you to leave the Racing Post. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think I could do damage, but yeah, maybe for another day.
Tiernan Murray's got Fox at 33-1 from earlier in the day. That is a bet, Tiernan. Well played, my friend. And Will says, any horses in the tracker for tomorrow? Let's have a look. Because my horse tracker, I have a brilliant horse. Do you know what a horse tracker is, Steve?
Yeah. I do know what a horse tracker is. I've never used one.
I've got a brilliant horse tracker. And tomorrow, there's 3 horses supposedly running. Water of Leith in the 225. That's one of those ones that's been in there a bit too long. Ocean Line in the 320 and Durra in the 355 at Worcester. So they're my 3 tracker horses for you, Will.
How does that work then? I mean, surely you have to sort of think a bit as well. You can't just back it just because it's in your tracker. I mean, if it's coming up against, you know, Florida Pearl or something, then you're not going to back it, are you? You know what I mean? It's got, does your tracker ever consider the opposition?
That is true. You pulled out one of the 3 horses.
Yeah, if it's up against Istabrack and Florida Pearl, you're not going to back it no matter how much you like it.
Right, Chris Kern says, lads, it's the Irish Open, so how's about Guidor 408 Air? And Bruce can give it an oi when it wins.
Is Guidor a character out of one of those funny films, isn't it? Harry Potter's or something? Is that what he's getting at? No, I don't.
No, that's dumb.
Maybe Guidor's a place in Ireland, is it? Let us know.
I don't know.
Let us know what you mean, because I don't know.
I don't know either. I will give it the oi. Here's Ryan Fox for birdie, and he makes it. So it's now Fox, Lawrence, and Kofstadt on -16. Law and Meronk -15. Meronk's got 3 players behind him. But Steve, the leaders have played the 9th. So what's happening now? The final group.
Oh, the tournament is starting. Yeah, the tournament is starting. And it's turning into a fox hunt, isn't it? It's turning into a fox hunt because he's going to set the mark. And who can catch the fox?
Here's Law looking to catch the fox. Can he roll this one in? Yes, he can. So there's a 4-way go at the top, and Meronk is not one of them. He needs to pull his finger out. So we've got, here's the latest betting from Boyles. Let's have a look, see what's going on. Still 11-4 Meronk, he's still fav. 3-1 Lawrence, 7-2 Kofstadt, 5 Law, and then 4 Fox. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players I think have got a big chance, and then Catlin's 25s, Campillo 33s, Zanotti 22, and they reckon forget the rest. And I suppose that is the case because Lowry's almost done at -12, Olsen's in at -13. It's funny though, isn't it? Some of those guys will think, do you know what? If I knew that 17 was the number, I would have played it very differently.
Look at that. He thought he'd missed that old Jorge Campillo. He's wandering after it. And then he's seen it drop.
I'm devastated about my lighting issue, by the way. It's so annoying. I'm going to have to get the lads to splash out one of those really like bright lights that they have in the corner.
Yeah,
you know?
I think you are. Look, Chris Kearns is on. Chris Kearns. That's my sort of message when it starts with correct Steve. Thank you, Chris.
It's in the best wee county in Ireland, Donegal. I've got a friend who's got friends in Donegal, and he goes there with the family twice a year, and he says it's absolutely lovely. Massive, great beaches, huge beaches, like miles and miles of windswept, remote golden sand. I do quite fancy Donegal. I really do. Who's that?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that was your man Fabrizio Zanotti.
Do you think Zanotti and Campillo are very similar, Steve? Sort of slight journeyman. They both won 2 titles, haven't they?
Plodders with very fragile. Yeah, I mean, we were on Zanotti at Valderrama not that long ago, and his putter turned into a live rattlesnake over the closing holes. You remember that?
Oh my goodness! I'm looking at this Kofstadt guy. He looks quite classic. He looks like the sort of bloke who'd have an acoustic guitar and be quite good.
Yeah. He's got a touch of the Jamiroquai about him, hasn't he?
Yes, hasn't he? Yeah. Wouldn't that be funny if he wore a hat like J.K. from Jamiroquai? That big sort of wide hat. Yeah.
Here comes Adrian, as I like to call him. He's got the hybrid there, and I thought he'd need a bit more than the 5 wood, but he's gone with it. Go!
He's found the dance floor.
Yeah. That is.
Can't ask for any more than that, can you?
So we've got a 5-way go now. Once we've had the 2-putt birdie there.
Well, not necessarily. Oh, we've got another horse tip. 540 at Chelmsford from Peter Davis. Enshrine a leggy filly for the future. That's what my tracker says. I've seen all this stuff. I don't get it when people say sparely made or massive or leggy. I mean, they've all got long legs, haven't they? You know, I mean, you don't get
longer than others. Some are
bubbly legs, do you?
No, you Elle Macpherson of the horsey world. There, she had very long legs, didn't she?
Here we go, Steve. Will wants to know what your biggest ever prize winner you've had tipping was.
Well, it was Tristan the Piston, wasn't it? 225-1 winner not that long ago. So we're very fond of Tristan the Piston.
So fond you might learn his name one day.
Indeed.
Right, what's happening now? Here he is. Here's Tristan with a birdie putt at the 13th. It's quite long though, isn't it? He'll do well. He'll do well. He'll take 2 putts all day here, won't he?
Oh, he'd bite your arm off for 2 putts.
Yeah, he certainly would. Let's have a look. It's on its way. He's got to go over a crest. It's working its way down towards the hole. It's got to go. No, he's left that short. Yes. Oh, it's still going. That's going to be horrible. That, given the way it trickled on in the last few rolls, it's obviously devilishly downhill. He was really fixated on the line there and not the length.
He forgot to hit it. I mean, he's left one of those, hasn't he? I mean, I don't fancy him to get that. He's been putting very well, but you can see the concern in his face.
He just got to read going and it'll get there. Chris adds, you should get yourself there. He's talking about Donegal. Spot on, really, the beautiful beaches, and there's some amazing golf courses. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice, Steve? We'll just fly out. I don't know what the nearest airport to Donegal is. It might even be Belfast. But anyway, you fly in there, hire a car, and we just drive around, go to some nice beaches, play some golf, have some tinctures in the evening. Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah. Some fresh Guinness that hasn't travelled far.
Here we go. I had this debate the other night. Oh, yeah, Guinness doesn't. It's all the same. How can Guinness be different anyway? The only way it can be different is if the pub aren't keeping their pumps correctly. Otherwise, a company like Guinness, a fantastic, amazing, historic company like that, you've got one batch that tastes nice and another that's not so good. It's just nonsense.
Things don't travel well. You don't taste it when you've travelled a long way. What's up? What's up?
Here's Warren. Warren Asher, our friend calling us from. Are you Central Leeds? Would you say, or the Leaf?
I would say Northern Leeds. That's where we are, Bruce.
Northern Leeds, lovely stuff. Have you ever done? Do you know where Otley is?
Yes, I do. Yes, indeed.
My daughter and her friends did the Otley Run a couple of weeks ago. It's a legendary pub crawl, apparently. 18.
You told him about that. You told him about
it's in Headingley as well.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Which tournament was that? Honestly,
US Open.
US Open. It was. Yeah. Well, you never know. I fancy Matt Fitzpatrick for that. Right then, you've walked into a thriller here, haven't you?
Yeah, it's cracking end to the tournament, and it's kind of boiling up even more than I thought it would do a couple of hours ago when I started watching. I was thinking that it was probably going to, maybe one or two pull away, and then look like Lowry might make a bid for it as well. But it could well go to a playoff at the moment, the way things are looking.
Who did you fancy at the outset?
Don't want to play off.
I have to say, along with Steve, I did think Shane Lowry was probably the man to beat. There was a couple of others that I quite fancied to do well because I had good records here. Richie Ramsey and Will Bessling as well. And they finished kind of under par, but not shooting the type of scores that they needed to get to kind of 14, 15 under par. So they've been well off the lead, to be honest with you.
What's the atmosphere been like in North Leeds since Fitzpatrick won then? There was a big party after
the open top bus parade.
Yeah. No,
it was a great night for that region, wasn't it?
It was. Our local news were on about it for about 3 days, constantly interviewing caddies, him himself, friends. In fact, he actually spoke to his PE teacher at one stage about
it. Was all down to him.
He took some credit for it.
Right, Warren,
you'll take him again on Monday.
So Warren's in charge now, Steve, because I've got to go.
Oh, you need to. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, I was just saying, you'll get to see Matt Fitzpatrick again in action on Monday. Tomorrow. Yeah. He's playing in the
JP McManus event.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see, how sharp he's been. He doesn't strike me as the sort of lad that would go bananas with the celebrations. I don't know whether you've been.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think he's enjoyed it without kind of going over top. He's not quite gone Darren Clark after his Open win.
No, that's it.
And he spent most of the time in the pub for 3 weeks.
Yeah. No, I think he'll come back in reasonable fettle. And, it'd be interesting to see how he goes at St Andrews. I don't know whether you've got any thoughts on his Open chances.
I think he's got a reasonable chance. I think he's done okay in the... when they've had, the 3 tournament events at St Andrews and Kings Farms.
Links.
He's done okay in that previously. I wouldn't necessarily be putting any money on him, to be honest, because I do think there are better options. But I think he'll probably be, I think he'd be disappointed if he didn't get, say, top 25, something like that. I think he'll have every chance if he's playing as he was previously.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be for me. So who are you fancying for this tournament then? Did we get a tip out of you then? Have you got any Polish friends?
Well, do you know what? We work with a couple of Polish guys actually in our office who I don't think are big golf fans, as I think I've heard you say on the Sweet Spot a few times, obviously, about your Polish neighbour. And I'm not sure how many Polish fans there are of golf. But do you know what? I still think, Steve, Meronk's got a chance here. I mean, I was just looking at the stats earlier on. I really do. And he's birdied the last 3 holes. He birdied the last 3 holes yesterday. He's birdied 18 each time this week as well. And it looks like, the back 9 is where he's had carried most of his success. And I just think that this is still a great opportunity for him because although I do think Ryan Fox is probably the main threat to him, he's only got a couple of holes left. And I think if Meronk can just hang in there and stay within a shot or so, I think he's got every chance.
Yeah. Meronk's the favourite from here. He's about to tap in. It's going to be a 4-way go now. And as you say, Fox is running out of holes, got no margin for error. Probably needs to birdie the last 2 to have a squeak, I'd say. David Law never convinces me completely. Espen Kofstad We're not too sure about the hairstyle. What do you think of his hairstyle? Was it?
Yeah, no. I just, do you know what? I just heard on commentary. You probably wouldn't have heard this before, Steve. That
oh no, we haven't got the comms on.
No, he used to have to get a boat trip of 15, 20 minutes to get to play golf in Sweden when he was younger. He had to get on a boat to get there, yeah. And they were coming, I don't know if you'd heard this before, but apparently Adrian Meronk had a 3.5-hour journey in Poland to get to his closest golf course. So
exactly,
they were sort of saying, like, deservedly battling away at the top of the leaderboard because of what they've had to go through when they were younger.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got to have a real passion for the game, haven't you, to make that journey every day? Kost had to slice that one, I believe. Where's it going to end up? Can't even see it. He just did not commit. That had a touch of the Mito Pereira's USPGA's about it, didn't it? He didn't swing through the ball, and a very late hit, maybe in all sorts of trouble. I didn't see it. Meronk is teeing off quite a long way back here. He obviously prefers the yardage from a yard back from the tee box. You see how back he is there?
Yeah, it's probably about 6 or 7 yards, isn't he, back from the tee box?
It's a tiny little hole, this one, and he'd be very disappointed with that. You know,
that's a long way from the flag, isn't it? I mean, I suppose, you know, the concern is there that he short sides himself, gives himself no green to work with, but that's basically a 2-putt range, isn't it? And the hope that he stays on 16 under and can kick on from there. But he's still got plenty of holes left, of course. He's still got plenty of time. And like we said, birdied the last 3 holes yesterday, and that'll give him immense confidence going in here. I mean, I can't help but think that, I think you guys mentioned it earlier on, this has got to be his best opportunity, Steve, hasn't it, since he's been on tour to win an event?
It's a golden opportunity given who's around him, because he's going to be nervous inevitably, but all those around him are going to be nervous too. There's no prolific winners there. Fox will be the least nervous, but he's running out of holes. David Law's given himself a bit of a problem here. I mean, Adrian Meronk's hit a shot there of a man who's 4 shots clear. So I mean, he doesn't want to be playing safe to the hut, because he needs to press on it a little bit. I still think you're going to need to get around the 19 under mark to win this, because there's no wind out there.
That high.
Massive shot here, crucial moments. Bruce has come back. Second shot to the par 5 17th for Ryan Fox. Is he going to use his power to make a decisive eagle? Every ruddy chance.
It's a cracker.
Every ruddy chance. It's behind that tree, but I'd imagine that is about a 10-foot eagle putt, which will...
Every chance. Every chance.
Could be setting 19 under. He will maybe setting 19 under.
The only thing that surprises me about Fox this week, actually, Steve, is, I mean, he shot 64 and was brilliant on the opening morning, and then to shoot 73-70 in the last 2 rounds ahead of today, I think this could have been his to, if he'd have carded a 68-69, this would have been his tournament. He'd have been clear by probably 3 or 4 shots, and he would have gone on to win. And he's allowed the others an opportunity today. But like you say, he when he needs it, and when these crucial times are towards the end of a tournament, he has got the experience, and he's also got that kind of emphasis about nothing seems to faze him. He just plays quickly, gets on with his game, and that's exactly what he benefits from.
He does play quickly. He can be very clumsy sometimes. He can be like a clumsy little elephant sometimes. I mean, he blew the Soodle Open with some very, very fast play at the death. So, here he goes. Blimmin' it. He's walked up to that ball very quickly. This is the eagle putt.
It's not a great camera angle, is it, either? We're about 150 yards back from the green on 17.
Oh, my gosh. Drained it with a plum.
That's a disaster. They not got a camera on the 17th today. The camera they showed that eagle putt from, they don't even own the course.
It's on a crane, that, isn't it?
Right then. Meronk's going to have to make some birdies. You're not going to win this with pars, my son.
Ryan Fox is odds on, folks. He's 4-6 with Boyle Sports. Fancy that. 4-6 Boyle Sports. 7-2 Adrian Meronk. And then 9-1 Law, 12 Kofstadt, 12 Campio, 25 the Piston, and 66 Bar. That, I tell you, Fox has come on and absolutely turned this tournament on his head. I can't believe it.
It has. I was just looking at his rounds earlier in the week as well, and in terms of the front 9 and the back 9. And the front 9 was by far his best in terms of picking up strokes, but he's gone 4 birdies and an eagle now on the back 9 today. What I would say is he's parred the 18th 3 times this week. So, not massive confidence going in to grab a birdie there in terms of what he's done earlier this week, but the way he's playing this afternoon, then certainly you might fancy him getting a birdie.
Get Warren doing his research and coming all properly prepared. We don't have that sort of professionalism around here, mate. Don't worry about that.
It's beautifully poised, isn't it? Come on, get our 2-putt par and get out of dodge
This
here.
is a long old 2-putt, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a really defensive tee shot, which disappointed me greatly. That needs to go, doesn't it? That really needs to go. Come on, travel.
Way short.
He's left that 5 foot short there, hasn't he?
Maybe 3 behind in a flash.
What else is happening, Warren? You've been watching the Grand Prix. Has there been a crash in that or anything?
No, I haven't actually. I was watching the cricket earlier, to which Johnny Bairstow smashed another 100 for England.
Did he?
But 106. But unfortunately, still way behind India's first innings total. So, a bit of a struggle. But he was outstanding again, smashing the ball to all parts.
Have you got anything in the US event this week, Steve? Warren?
I haven't. No. I mean, listening to you guys on Tuesday, quite rightly pointed out, it's a pretty poor field, isn't it, for a PGA Tour normally, and the John Deere is normally a decent level of tournament, I would say, as well. But obviously, with players going to LIV and quite a few of them coming over to the Irish Open as well to prepare for the Scottish Open and the Open Championship the next couple of weeks. I haven't necessarily looked at that this week, but all eyes on Scotland next week. I think one of my favourite.
It's going to be amazing, isn't it?
We've
got 2 sensational weeks coming up. Really looking forward to it, I must say. Here's Matt Smith saying, I hail from North Leeds and can feel my Yorkshire accent returning listening to Wazza. My mate is Fitzpatrick's personal trainer and says nobody works harder. How about that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of NHS staff that would question that. I mean, he's just playing golf.
Steve pointed out earlier on, Bruce, that he doesn't seem the type of person who would do a Darren Clark and go on a 2 or 3 week drinking spree after winning. I think he'd be fully focused on St Andrews.
No, he might have a can of Foster's and then that'll be it, wouldn't it? Back to work. Yeah. No, but I mean, I like that. I think he's wholesome, isn't he, Fitzpatrick? Strikes me as wholesome. Nice family, and he's never going to change. He's never going to disappear up his own backside, is he? He's always going to be nice.
Well, I can't imagine that LIV tours for Matt Fitzpatrick, to be honest.
No. Hang on a sec. What's happening here? Darren Walker says, I was on Fox at 80-1 in the Irish Open. I got all excited here. And he says, when he lost the playoff to Knox a few years ago. No. Knox should get arrested for robbery that day. Don't be like that, Darren. Blimey, all right. So it was Fox v Knox, was it? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Diane was talking about that earlier, wasn't she? Her brethren was involved in that one. Yeah, he's got a good record in the Irish.
Yeah. Jolly good. What else? So any other news, Warren? Have you got? Everyone's asking Steve for a British Open fancy, and he absolutely refuses to reveal it. If you have a bet now on the Open at St Andrews, who would you go for?
I would go for 2 off the top of my head because I've not really had a proper look.
I'm going to get Ball Sports prices up. Hang on a sec. Wait till I go through Ball Sports prices, and then.
Fine, I thought you were going to say with a gun to your head. You've got to add that. If you had a gun to your head,
I think in this era of responsible gambling.
Oh no, fair enough. Yeah.
The idea of holding a gun to someone's head and making them have a bet, no, it's not on message. 9-1 Rory McIlroy, 11-1 Scotty Scheffler, 11 John Rahm, 16 Justin Thomas, 18 Colin Morikawa, 20 Matt Fitzpatrick, 20 Shane Lowry, 22 Zalatoris, 22 Spieth, 22 Schauffele, 25 Cam Smith, 28 Dustin Johnson, 28 Brooks Koepka, you've got to be joking, 28 Sam Burns, 28 Patrick Cantlay, 28 Victor Hovland, and 33 Barr. Away you go, Warren. Who are you going to back?
Well, my 2 that I was going to pick there were Rory McIlroy, who I do think is too short, to be honest with you. But my other selection would be Jordan Spieth, who I think at 22s. I think at 22s I'd be tempted by Spieth, but I also think Sam Burns is quite a decent price as well. I think it's a matter of time before he has a real big performance in a major, and I think
I'm nodding away there. Well. I'm nodding away there. Sam Burns seems just the type. Now, I think, Steve, you'd point to Link's inexperience, wouldn't you?
Yes. I think I'd like to see him in a few more Opens before we get involved with Sam Burns. He contended in a major for the first time the other day, didn't he? And very much disappointed you, Bruce.
He did to an extent, but I like.
This is a massive moment for the Irish Open. We must have full focus for this.
Meronk for par at 11.
What's going on between the ears of Adrian Meronk? We will find the answer very soon.
This is 5 foot down the slope. He slots
My time has come. My time has come. That's what's between the ears.
How did we get on with our 10th hole bet, by the way, Steve?
Sorry, find the badge.
Hang on a sec. You're kissing the badge. So Meronk birdied the 10th because we tipped him, didn't we, to beat Senior? Where's Senior? Senior, you've got to do some scrolling for Senior. He started off miles. He started off in contention. He birdied it as well. That's rotten.
Okay. A push.
You get your money back though because it was tie no bet. And by the way, bookmakers, do please offer more tie no bets in golf, particularly 3 balls and 2 balls. It's so much nicer. Well, 3 balls you can't have tie. Obviously can. Who's this in trouble?
Kofstad, your man Kofstad. Your followers count will be going way ahead of his now. Yeah. He's in all sorts.
There was always the chances would happen, wouldn't it? Having not contended ever before in this sort of situation, and he looks like this whole may well scupper his chances now.
Absolutely. Peter Davis says, how many places ball sports in the Open? Only 6 at the moment, Peter, but wait till nearer the time. I'm sure there will be double figures. So I always think it's like with Cheltenham. I never bet in the 2 weeks before Cheltenham because I know that there are going to be loads of extra places. Massive crash in the first corner in the Grand Prix with a car on its roof. Driver roof? What? Yeah, one car. Do they have roofs? It's not like a normal saloon car, is it? Anyway, it sounds like one of them's flipped, according to Martin Scanlon. The driver's okay, but a long delay. Thank you for keeping us informed on what's happening there, Martin. Excellent stuff.
Right.
Hope that driver's okay.
I didn't think they were allowed to crash these days. It's a very safe sport these days, isn't it?
We'll try telling that to
a good thing, but
who's the guy who that awful crash in Abu Dhabi a couple of years ago? Who was it? And his car caught fire. Who was that?
Oh yes, Jean Lazy. Yeah. No, I mean I sound like you're getting old when you start harking back the good old days. Yeah, but I used to like the good old days when there's a bit more danger element to it. But it's probably not the right thing to say.
You can't beat the good old days, Steve, can you?
No, you can't beat the good old days.
Those were the days.
Modern life is rubbish. That was a Blur album, wasn't it? Modern life is rubbish. I mean, they were before their time. There.
Sorry, hang on a second. We've got disparaging. He's got to go back. The buggy ride.
Shame.
Get Brutal's comment back up, lads, for us for a sec. Thanks very much indeed to Sam and to Kieran who are doing such great work on production, trying to make this show as professional as our amateurishness allows. Brutal says, death taxes, Meronk throwing away a golden opportunity on a Sunday. Will this come back to bite me? Will it, Steve? I'll do a John McCree. Will it come back to bite you?
It may well come back to bite him because there's a lot of golf to be played, and every hole's a birdie hole. With these weather conditions, it's a soft golf course. Find the fairway, attack the pins. He's going to have to get to 18 under. It looks like
we're getting towards 2-horse race territory here, aren't we? 4-7 Fox, 5-2 Meronk. I don't see it that way. I think it's been so ever changing. I think something will happen, and also Warren. All the players have to gamble now, don't they? So if they gamble correctly, then someone's going to shoot a load of birdies and potentially an eagle to get back up there. So do you think the front two are to be avoided at this juncture?
You could make a case for a couple of others, I think, Bruce. I mean, Tristan Lawrence is one who I would look in particular. The one person I think, or 2 people who I think will be absolutely kicking themselves at the end of today, are Campillo, who's hit some brilliant iron shots in, but his putting's been awful. And Catlin as well, who's done nothing really over the last kind of hour and a half, where the birdie opportunities have been there, but he's not been able to pick up a shot. I mean, he's 4 shots off the lead now, possibly maybe too much for him to make up. But I think those 2 in particular will look back and think we should really have been up there, towards this top of the leaderboard at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, no question about that. Absolutely. What's Mrs. Ashurst doing today? Is she cross about you coming on the show, or was she all right about it?
No, she's been okay. It's a bit of ironing that's going on and a bit of homework with the kids, but
she's an NHS worker, isn't she? She'd take offence at that, at the idea that no one works harder than Matt Fitzpatrick, wouldn't she?
I don't want to get into the argument territory I've had on a number of occasions about football/sport and the NHS links.
My wife was a nurse, and Steve's wife obviously works at a hospital as well. And the thing is, you'd come home and she'd say, "How's your day?" And you say, "Oh, it's a nightmare. Someone put a comma in the wrong place, It's a really, a real massive problem." Then you say, "How was your day?" And she'd go, "Yeah, we had a little 3-year-old admitted with a brain tumour." And you just, okay, I'll shut up,
Yeah,
So
my day
we
wasn't
can't
bad.
compare with those proper jobs, can we?
No, and on occasions I've tried to stick up for well-paid sports people on these sort of arguments just to play devil's advocate, but I always fall flat on my face.
Does she ever call you Wazza? Is Wazza a pet name for you?
No, she hasn't actually, but she does know that I get called it. I've been called it since I was at school, so I kind of get used to it.
What is her pet name for you?
Oh no, you can't. You can't.
Snuggle Muffin.
No, it's not that bad.
Do your 3 sons just call you Dad, or have they got rude names for you, or like disparaging?
No, yeah, Dad generally. I do get a lot of abuse, but Dad generally is as good as it gets in terms of the name side of it.
Do you know what my kids call me? Well, you're not going to guess this. They call me Hawk Features because my kids think I look like a hawk. Can you see that?
No, I can't. I'll be honest. Maybe you should explain.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah.
I mean, this light, you can't see anything, obviously. But I mean, they call me Hawk.
Yeah, you need the vision of a hawk to see in your living room. Don't you? It's so dark.
Absolutely.
A fox, talking about animals.
Hawk, it could be a fox. This is crucial now. It's 200 yards, quite a long second for this.
Yeah, it is. It's a long, tough golf hole, but he's left himself 200 yards. This is a big test of character. Oh, look at that little Manchester United fan behind Espen there.
There's a magpie now trying to get on the bird feeder. That is not allowed. I'm not having that. I hate magpies. Just terrorise the little birds.
Scum of the earth, and they scum of the earth, magpies.
Yeah, they are, mate. They are. Right.
They steal eggs from other birds.
I know, they're terrible. Here's Fox at 18, carving a long iron into the green.
Drilled it, hasn't he?
Oh, it's terrible. He's gone long. Has he found the sand? That's one of the ones
at the edge of the bunker.
He's gone short. He didn't really connect with that, did he? Didn't really connect.
He's short-sided himself as well, hasn't he? He hasn't got much green to play with.
No, he absolutely hasn't. No, that could be problematic for him. That couldn't it?
It's fantastic news for Poland.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Great part. Tristan
drains the long one.
Really playing well today.
Here's the situation. Okay, we've got Fox in the bunker at the 18th. He's minus 18. He leads. He's 9 under today. Law is 2 back on 16 under. He's played 16. Actually, while I am going through the scoreboard, we'll look at his approach to the par 5 17th. It's his third shot.
I'll take relief whilst you're doing that. I'll take relief.
Oh, yeah, sure you can. Yeah. Okay. So that's not very good by Law. So if you've backed him, you're not in great shape. Lawrence has joined Fox on 16. Meronk is on 16 through 11. So he's got loads of holes left. Jorge Campillo is minus 15 through 12, and then John Catlin and Fabrizio Zanotti are minus 14. Ollison minus 13, so you can forget them. So here's the betting from Boyle Sports as we watch Catlin trying to roll one in, and he doesn't. 4-5, Ryan Fox. 9-4, Adrian Meronk. 7-1, Tristan Lawrence. 12-1, Jorge Campillo, and 50-1, Barr. What do you reckon, Warren?
I have to say, depending on how this ball lies and where he is, I still edge towards Fox. Just because if you always get in the clubhouse with a decent score and put the pressure on, particularly when you're looking at the likes of Meronk and a couple of the others who haven't, and David Law, I would say in particular, who haven't had a great deal of experience at this sort of level of winning tournaments. I just think that puts an awful lot of pressure on them. Just
this is Fox.
Right.
This is Fox.
Fox, is it?
That is definitely Fox. And the good news there is he's hard up against the canopy of the hoarding, so he'll get relief off that. And it doesn't look too juicy around there, does it? It looks like with the 2 club lengths, he should be able to get himself something half decent, stab that on, and make his par. I mean, it's not a guaranteed par by any means, but
no, because he's only got about 6 feet between the edge of the green and the flag from the side that he's on at the moment. But that could have been far worse, to be honest. Like you say, Bruce, he'll get a drop and he'll get himself a reasonable lie in which to chip up toward the flag.
Snowman putt for Kofstadt. This is for an 8, and he's drained it. Well done, lad. So he is out of the game, unfortunately. He'll still bank a decent check, but an 8 at the 13th hole is not what you want. Oh, look at his caddy.
Norwegian golf signing up, Steve, at the moment.
Say again,
Norwegian golf. I think Victor Hovland's obviously started a little bit of a trend going, and there seems to be a few Norwegian players all of a sudden.
Certainly, He was talking about Victor Hovland earlier about he's the only player that's not playing in the JP McManus Invitational tomorrow. I don't know whether that means he's carrying some sort of little niggle.
Right then, well, we better let you go, my friend. It's been lovely to have you on. Thank you so much for coming in and holding the fort while we have a little break. It's lovely to have you. Will you join us for the Open in 2 weeks, or have you got?
Hopefully, we'll do. Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. Should be all good.
Lovely stuff. Love to the family, Warren. See you soon, mate.
Cheers, guys. Enjoy the rest.
Cheers, what's up? Stay safe.
You've never met Warren in person, have you?
I've not met lots of people in person.
Such a lovely chat.
Yeah. No, he seems like a salt of the earth kind of guy.
His dad was a professional footballer. I told you that, didn't I?
You did tell me that. Yeah. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain or something.
No, I think it was either called Billy Ashurst or Les Ashurst. I can't remember. I think it's Les. Right. Yeah. Yes, right. Les. Right then. So, folks,
did you notice that Shane Lowry is creeping up the leaderboard in terms of the places now? I mean,
could he play?
Yeah, certainly with the firms.
Yeah, if you took 11, you're going to get paid out. That's nice. Nice. Here's John Catlin at the 14th. I enjoyed it the other day, Steve, by the way. I was watching a tournament and Mark Rowe said, and in the background, they were at a par 3, and he said, in the background, there's a BMW and you win that for getting a hole in one here. He said, it's an incredible car. It's got all the bells and whistles as far as technology is concerned. I thought, well, you didn't actually have to clarify that because I didn't think it just had loads of bells and whistles on it. I assumed it was a euphemism for technologically advanced car. Anyway, right.
I have nothing to add.
Okay, we do some comments because I think they're racking up.
The golf tournament's right here. We mustn't.
Here's Fox's chip. Here's Fox's chip. He's lofted it up there, and it's run by. No. 8 foot.
Very, very, very.
He's got 11, 12 foot there for par.
So 17 under par will be the mark I fancy.
Right.
So Adrian will be. His ears will be pricked now, won't they?
They certainly will, mate. Yeah, they certainly will. Right then. Who would
Adrian?
Dugro says, I can't let it go. Guinness isn't the same elsewhere. That's like saying all golf balls are the same. All golf balls are the same, and so is all beer.
Zugro speaks my language.
Silly ones with the triangles on.
Golf balls.
Here's Meronk teeing off at 13. Meronk's got plenty of holes left, Steve, either to make mistakes or to claw back the deficit on Fox.
He fancies this.
He's a big hitter, isn't he, the pole?
He is.
That looks nice, doesn't it?
He's tall.
Oh no, he's indicating it's gone way left. Oh,
it's gone over the camera. Follow it. It's gone over the cameraman's head.
Sorry, I'm not laughing, but when the cameraman just thinks, "Oh, sod this," I'm just going to point my camera straight up. Oh, he doesn't. He looks a bit anxious there. Sorry, Louis. Foxy boy laying down a marker. This could be one of my best bets ever if Foxy wins. 33's in play. That's Tiernan Murray. Good luck there, Tiernan. Lovely bet. 33-1 winner. Who doesn't love one of those? Louis says, who would Steve fancy between President's Cup internationals and a European Cup team, a Ryder Cup team? That's a good question. That should happen, actually, shouldn't it? Why do the Americans get to play President's Cup and we have to wait every other year for the Ryder Cup? So who would win, Europe or the rest of the world?
We did play against the Asians briefly, didn't we? There was a tournament where the Eurasia Cup was in the odd years, but I think Europe would win that quite fairly comfortably. The European Ryder Cup team's normally stronger than the international lineup.
Tom Barra says yes. Guinness defo isn't the same everywhere. Well, I don't know any other product as big as Guinness where it's different everywhere else, So
things don't travel well. This is the point I was trying to make to you. Yeah, you won't taste as good after a long journey. Like things just degenerate, don't they, after long journeys? Let's see if Ryan Fox can make this long journey.
Ryan Moore, this is big.
Ryan Moore's on the horse now.
Ryan Fox, he's missed it. He's rolling by the side. The mark is -17. Lawrence is on -16. Meronk's -16. Law's -15. Campillo's -15. All to play for in this topsy-turvy Irish Open. Let's get the latest odds from Boyle Sports. Oh, they've suspended while they take in the implications of that Ryan Fox.
Well, no, it's more taken in the implication of where the ruddy hell Adrian Meronk's ball is, isn't it? I mean,
that's a good point, actually. Yeah. Okay, well, look, here we go. Here's the story. 7-4 Ryan Fox, 2 Adrian Meronk, 7-2 the Piston, 7 Campio, 12 Catlin, 33 Zanotti. This tournament is just changing every blooming minute. It's a thriller.
It's the most exciting golf tournament I've ever seen.
It's up there, isn't it?
Definitely in the top
Fox.
55.
Fox is. He sort of seems quite happy. I don't know why.
Well, he's leading the golf tournament, isn't he?
Just very quickly before it gets really exciting, official Realise IRL says, Stephen Bruce, who is the pick for the JP Invitational? We've been promising you the tips for that for absolutely ages. Steve, who are your 2 picks? It starts tomorrow, doesn't it? So when do we need to get our bets on?
By 8 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah. Let's get our bets on right now. And let's back Rory McIlroy, who's in fantastic fettle, nicely rested since the Travellers' Championship. Go into a place he knows well. That's the key. I mean, you've got a star-studded lineup, but most of the superstars are seeing Adair Manor for the first time this week. Nice little kiss for Ryan Fox there. He's got his baby on the with him. Rory McIlroy played it in 2010. He also played it in the Irish Open there when he was a nipper. Finished 7th in the Irish Open. So, Rory McIlroy can hit the ground running, which is very important in a 36-hole event. Yeah, it's only a 2-day event, 36 holes. McIlroy will go there. Cock of the North, won the Canadian Open not that long ago. I expect him to win. It's going to be quite a breezy, challenging conditions. And I think the value option to make it a 2-pronged attack is Justin Rose, who seems to be coming to hand nicely and has also got course experience, having played in the 2010 one. We're gasping for a JP McManus Invitational. We haven't had one for 12 years. It's a fantastic event. No. It's played was played every 5 years, and then there's been a few issues, but we're all very excited.
It is an incredible field, isn't it? I mean,
I mean,
JP McManus is a big deal in horse racing, but in golf as well. For him to be able to attract this field, it's mad, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at the top of the bet and you don't get to the headline act, I mean, keep going down and you might soil yourself with excitement.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, it is a good field, but yeah, I mean, I'd probably stop short of that. As Catlin, talking of soiling himself, Catlin misses a fairly short putt there.
Have a look. Sorry, you don't know what I'm on about yet, do you? But
sorry.
The producers marked it there for you.
Oh my goodness, Tiger! This is ridiculous.
He's hidden down the bend, but yeah, JP's attracted Tiger there. Yeah, Tiger won it when it was at Limerick Golf Club. He originally played at Limerick Golf Club, and Tiger won it when he was in his POB 2000. So yeah, Tiger Woods is reappearing. So we'll all be watching his every move to assess his fitness. I've heard from a few of my moles that Tiger's been doing practice rounds lately in waterproofs, wearing waterproofs to train for the Opens. He's taken the Open very seriously. There's a few sort of naysayers saying that St Andrews might be his retirement, but there's other people telling me that Tiger's well up for it and he's got a winning chance. So who knows? But yeah, would I try if Tiger won the Open? Yeah, I think so, because I was all over the show when he won that last Masters. So
you'd have to be, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think I'd struggle. To hold back the tears. It started already. Just the thought of it has sent you over the edge there.
Oh my goodness! Sorry, violent. I've got a nosebleed now. Oh, it's all. I've
a live nosebleed. Oh my word! Where's the paramedic? Call the paramedic. Wake her up! Wake her up! See, that's the beauty of having a paramedic in the house. She can just tip his nose back like that, clip it, nose back, stem the bleeding. Blimey, well, it could be me to the end now, guys. Bruce Millington, who was late for the show, has disgraced himself again by having a nosebleed and left it all down to Steve Palmer to see it home. Oh, no, he's back. The paramedic has acted.
Look, neither of these events was my fault. Okay, hang on a sec. No, mute me, guys. Let me talk. Don't show me, okay? I'll talk to Steve, but get Steve on his own on camera. Can we do that? Hang on a sec. Stop cam. There you go. That's the way. That's it. You don't want to see me trying to get over a nosebleed, but I'm okay to talk. No. Okay. I've got the paramedic on hand as well.
Yeah. Oh, be careful you don't faint.
Telling me to pinch it.
Yeah, pinch it. Okay. Arch your neck back.
No, this is ridiculous. Honestly, it's all going wrong. And there are an ad break, so we can't even see what's happening in the golf.
You're going to need some glucose in the system very soon. Perhaps a can of Lucozade. Have you got a can of Lucozade handy?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Send the paramedic off with the blues and twos to get the Lucozade, and that should get you back on track. I really do fear for you, Bruce.
No, I'm all right. I'm fine. Honestly, don't worry.
Peter Kingston's come in with a comment live on screen here. Bruce just can't handle the back nine on Sunday,
Can't.
and I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? By the way, I was going to ask you about tinctures during the show. You've got your little yellow beaker there. What's in there?
I have got a beaker of lager. Yes. I thought I'd treat myself to something. I mean, I'm not feeling much pressure today because in previous broadcasts we've had a player in contention, and today, like Larry had very little chance. So much more.
Oh no, here's Meronk.
Meronk in a bit of trouble.
Right, I'm okay, lads. You can get me back. I'll start my camera again. Here we go. There.
You can hook it around there, is he? Or is he going to take some medicine? I think he's got to play it. I can't see
all gone around the corner to have a look. Ooh,
oh, cripes.
Well,
there's 2 balls on the green. There's 2 balls on the green.
Oh, yeah. He must have hit a miracle shot.
But I wish I could hear the crowd going wild. There's a lady in a pink cardigan there. Looks quite happy about things.
There's a garter as well.
There's a garter. God, he's got lucky there, any old Laurie.
No, it's a brilliant shot. Oh, Law has, yeah. No, Meronk, what a shot.
No, Meronk's played an absolute Brahma.
Richard Casey says, pinch the top of the nose. Richard, that isn't true, mate. The top of the nose is just cartilage. There's no point pinching it. You've got to pinch the bottom. There's absolutely no point pinching the top of your nose because it's all cartilage. You
pinch the bottom, do you?
Yeah, of course you do, yeah. That's where it comes out. Here's Tristan Piston at 16. If he rolls this in, he is joint leader of the Irish Open. It's on its way. It's certainly got the pace. Has he got the line? No, it drifts off towards left. And in actual fact, he's all right. He's got 4 foot back. He should be okay.
Must thank Richard Casey for his comment there. He's one of our regulars. He's a nice fella and he's a postman.
He is, but I wouldn't want him coming to me if I had a major problem. If he thinks you'd pinch the top of your nose. Steve Madge says, the last time that happened to Bruce was when Palace went into the top half of the Premier League. Very good, Steve. Yes. Oh, God, that was ridiculous. Anyway, because I've just started getting hay fever, Steve, in my 50s. I never got the fuss with hay fever, and then we went to the Chelsea Flower Show once, and all of a sudden I've developed hay fever.
Oh, really?
His part, yeah.
Bit of deep lodged pollen up there, yeah. Yeah, I suffer from that. Beckenase will sort you out. Yeah, just spray Beckenase left, right, and centre.
Here's Lawrence trying to make par at 16. This is such an exciting tournament.
You've got 3 nostrils, have you?
No, exactly. That'd be good, wouldn't it? 3 nostrils.
Would you like to have 3 nostrils?
No, if you could have a third something of the things you've got 2 of, what would you go for? A third arm, I suppose it'd be, wouldn't it? 3 arms would be brilliant, wouldn't it? I'll tell you when it'd be great.
Well, it depends. What are the terms and conditions? If you had 3 eyes and you could have an eye on the back of your head.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I'd go with that. I'd probably go with that.
Yeah, no, that'd be good. I was thinking if you're ever at like a party where you've got to stand up and there's food and drink, that's the one time you need a third arm because otherwise you're holding your plate and you've got glass and you're trying to work the cutlery. That just doesn't work. So you need a third arm to hold the plate. Well, you actually need 4 there. Anyway, that's a
good point. Well made, but you certainly wouldn't want 3 nostrils because your hay fever would be even worse, wouldn't it?
Well, I suppose so. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. Right. Anyway,
there's your leaderboard.
Yeah, Fox is on -17. Lawrence is 16. So is Meronk. 15 Lauren Campillo and 14 Catlin and Zanotti. And the latest betting 5-4 Ryan Fox, 13-8 Adrian Meronk, 4 Tristan Lawrence, 20 Campillo, 20 Zanotti, 80 Catlin. So the 3 sort of powder puffs, as you'd probably call them, Campillo, Zanotti, and Catlin look like they're out of it. It looks like the Irish Open, as things stand, given how changeable it's been, you never know, is between Fox, Meronk, and Lawrence. I suppose a playoff's got to be fairly short price, hasn't it? Which is no good for you because you've probably got a box of roses and a bunch of flowers to take to the hospital to go and see your mum, haven't you?
I have some artwork that has been crafted by my children to give to as well. Yeah, so it would be heartbreaking.
No, I'll tell you what will happen then, Steve. If it goes for a playoff, it's much more important that you go and see your mum, and I'll do it on my own. Okay, we'll drag a special guest out. Okay, you've got to go and see your mum. What time's visiting close? 7.
7, yeah.
Mind you, do you think they'd be watching the sweet spot, the nurses? Do you think they watch the sweet spot live and they'd maybe cut you a little bit of a deal, cut you some slack?
I don't know. Don't worry. Meronk's going to win this in regulation play. We won't have to worry about that. We're all going to be, never mind crying when Tiger Woods wins the Open. We're going to be crying like babies when Meronk wins this.
Here is Meronk, unlikeliest of birdies at the 13th. I tell you what, though, Steve, the pace of play is quite slow. They've only 2/3 of the way through their round, and they've been going for 3 hours. So that's not brilliant, is it? Anyway, that's a lovely roll. It's a really good roll, that wasn't it?
Tasty roll, that. It's a tasty roll.
The fluorescent clad pole has done a really good roll there. Right, what have we got here? Who's this little chap?
That's your David Law, who's he's pretty much done his business.
He's got to get out. Well, he's got to hole this, and he can't. So he can't win. So forget Law, unfortunately. If you backed him each way, all well and good. I think that horse Guido has won.
Oh, well done, Guido.
Guido
gets the beers in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done, Kinsey.
408 though. I thought the shit was in the 408. No.
I don't know.
No, Guido won the 402. Blimey, good shout. I hope some of the viewers followed in that judge. Guido won at 2-1. Brilliant. Well done.
On the show, don't you? You get horse winners on this show as well as all the other stuff. Smashing
that, isn't it? Peter Davis says, nice one. I doubled that with Enshrine. Very good indeed.
Good work, mate. Good work.
We've got nice. Do you know what, Steve? I've been lucky enough to play some nice golf courses, and of all the really nice ones I've played, the one I can remember the least is Mount Juliet. I can remember our tea time was about 7 a.m. It was really dewy, so if you didn't find the fairway early on, it was ridiculous. But I remember it was gorgeous, lovely part of the world. Another one we should put on the list, probably, shouldn't we?
Perhaps you'd have too much of that really nice Guinness to remember anything of your trip.
No.
Shane Larry's in 10th place. That's good enough for some people, I believe, but. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, I can't remember. Yeah. If you 12 places is regularly available now if you dig deep enough. But
I know it's great, isn't it? Yeah. Right then. Jorge Campillo for bogey. So I think we can forget all about him.
I mean, we just need Tristan to drop out of it, really, because I think throughout this broadcast we've been very much on the side of Adrian Meronk and Ryan Fox, haven't we? And I think we should pat ourselves on the back if Tristan Lawrence dips out of it.
Okay,
we're here for betting advice, and we've done it. We've done it well. If Tristan Lawrence,
try and pat yourself on the back. You can. It's possible. It's possible.
Oh no, that's definitely possible. Yeah.
Well, you're using a different technique. I go cross head. Yeah, no, good. Fair enough.
Oh, you can do all sorts, can't you? Do you not remember doing all that when you were when you're a school kid? Yeah, just imagining cuddling up to whoever.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah. Chris Kern says, if you're going to Donegal to see the beaches at Downings and play golf at Ballybofey and Port Salon. Ballybofey sounds good, doesn't it? That sounds good. Brutally difficult links when the wind blows.
Is the Giants Causeway down that neck of the woods?
No, it's not. No, if you imagine Ireland as a sort of oval, Donegal's in the sort of northwest bit, the top northwest bit, and Giants Causeway's top northeast bit, if you know what I mean.
Because everyone always tells me I need to see that before I perish.
Yeah, that does look incredible, Giants Causeway and Fingal's Cave or Fingal's Cove. Yeah, no, it looks good. There's a birdie there for Law, so he goes to -16. It's not going to be good enough to win, but it's a nice
pass.
Oh, sorry. Was it par? Was it? Oh, pardon me.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, no, he's very much out of it. So
yeah, it's a decent check, though, isn't it?
It's a 3 golf tournament. I think we can fairly safely say now 3 golfers can win this golf tournament. Let's hope it's the pride of Poland.
I sort of went quiet there, hoping for an answer to my "it's a good check." Who cares? Not my bank account, is it? Here's Catlin. Stop showing. You've got to show someone.
I'm sure Mrs. Law will be happy with that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Right then, Catlin's out of it. It's all down. It's basically Meronk versus Lawrence versus Fox. Lawrence has got the par 17 and par 5, par 17. I played a few of them. Par 5 17th and the par 4 18th to come. And Meronk has got 5 holes to play. And here is Meronk.
There's the BMW. That's got all the bells and whistles, isn't it? That one.
Technologically speaking, yeah, it has. Yeah, it looks lovely, that, doesn't it? Yeah.
We'll take a par here. We'll take a par all day long.
Oh, really? Yeah, 204 yards. You can't get greedy, can you? How tall is he? Is he about 6'5"?
I think Robert Carlson is 6'5" and Chris Wood's 6'5". I don't. If you typed in who's the tallest player on the European Tour, I think you'd get Robert Carlson and Chris Wood. Robert Carlson's pretty much retired now, but I think Adrian Meronk might be right up there. Actually,
up there, hasn't he?
That wasn't a bad shot. Don't beat yourself up, son.
I don't think he is. I think he's okay with that. Yeah.
Catlin, he's faded out. I told you he was rubbish.
What are you doing tonight after you've been to the hospital?
Settling in to watch Denny McCarthy win the John Deere Classic. I mean, I really, really want Denny McCarthy to win the John Deere Classic.
What price did you tip him at?
It was hard for me to listen. 28 to 1. So it's very hard for me to listen to Diane because I've got a lot of affection for Diane, but she was talking about JT Poston in very glowing terms, and I really don't want JT Poston to do what Diane thinks he's going to do. And I'm not as convinced by him as Diane. So, I'm hoping Denny McCarthy will reel in JT Poston tonight.
It was interesting what she said about JT Poston, his temperament. Very level-headed man. She likes him. So, you never know. Right, so I'm told Giants Causeway is quite close to Royal Port Rush. There you go, Steve.
Oh, there you go. God, what a combo that could be. Taking Giants Causeway and then have 18 holes at Port Rush.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be nice.
So much to do in the world, isn't there?
Do you know what? I was just thinking that.
Time and money.
Why can't why can't we make that dream happen, you know?
Time and money would be the two handicaps here.
What chance have we got, by the way? Because, we had the Racing Post Golf Tour to Portugal in April. If we do it again next year, do you think you've got half a chance or not?
If the dates are suitable, I mean, it's very rare for me to get a quiet moment, but if the dates are suitable, I'd obviously love to. Shane Lowry's in 8th place now. That's pleasing.
Oh, that is good. Yeah, he's done well there. So's Aaron Rye. Wow. I still feel a little bit kind of a case of what might have been with those guys. And Lucas Herbert, who is the defending champion, he's got 2 to play, so he could actually get a full place depending on who you've placed your bets with.
Do you want to talk about the exciting element of 3 open spots available? You see the ones with the claret jugs there. I've just come off the screen. The ones without the claret jugs, the top 3 will get into the open. I see Thunder Bear Ollison there is pushing hard for an open spot. It'd be nice to see Thunder Bear at St Andrews, wouldn't it?
I suppose so. Yeah. He's done his redemption. He's served his time, hasn't he? So
And David Law. I mean, David Law. Well, no, he was an innocent man, mate. He mustn't get in trouble. He's an innocent man. Yeah, David Law there will be going to St Andrews. I mean, that the world to him, wouldn't it? If you said to him this morning, David, you're not going to win the golf tournament, but you're going to go to St Andrews. Will you take that? He would have bitten your hand off.
Hang on a second.
I'm still there.
Yeah, I'm just looking into the details of the Ollison case. Yes, you're absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, no, you're right. Okay, back to the golf and
Darren Walker's on.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah. Where?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I only get the ones that flash up on the screen.
Tallest player, Jonathan Thompson.
Of course. Yeah, Jonathan Thompson. Yeah,
6'9".
Yeah. He's an absolute beast, isn't he? Yeah. We like him. Yeah,
he's him. 6'9". That's incredible. Wow.
What's the tallest person you've ever seen?
When I worked at Catford Dog Track, on the big nights there, they used to have a couple of police come around just for crowd control, and it was always very good-natured stuff. But one of them was 7'2".
Cripes.
That's incredible, isn't it? 7'2" he was. So
he
that
must be rubbish at throwing balls. I mean, if you're 7'2", you should be a basketball player, shouldn't you?
You should be a baller, shouldn't you? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I'm sure that he was a credit to the constabulary and probably the police basketball team. So that was good. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I might be 7'2". I might be 7'2" soon. The way my hair's going. Did you know my barber has had an injury? I had an appointment a couple of weeks ago, and he texted all the customers to say he's had an injury. And he had to cancel all commitments at the moment. And I don't know what the injury is or how long it's going to be. So at the moment, I'm just in a holding position of and the hair's just going up and up and
Well,
up.
yeah,
and
you're
up.
Marge Simpson, aren't you? How did he contact you? Did he just put a note on the front door? Because they're not very technological generally, are they, barbers? It's quite analog.
He's quite a young barber. Yeah, he's taken over from his dad, because his dad was my original barber, and he's passed it down the generations, so the son's taken over. So he's much better on the technology than you'd imagine. And he had everyone's phone number, and he sent a group text to everyone saying he's injured. But it's I don't know what's happened. How bad the injury is. It could be like a small finger injury, or
his head. How long will he be out for? Because he can't be the only barber in.
No, I can't. I did try and text him back, and it didn't work. It's these funny things where a no reply text.
Yeah. Can't you go somewhere else, or do you feel so loyal to him that you're prepared to let your hair grow?
I pride myself on my loyalty. My wife's been pushing me to go somewhere else, but I will just wait. I will wait it out until he's.
No, I don't think he'd begrudge you going for a one haircut move elsewhere.
Well, no, I'll see how it goes until it gets ridiculous. I'll press on. Here's Tristan the Piston, second shot, 190.
Oh, it's nice. It's on. He's got to look at eagle there. Right. I tell you what, this is bad news for Ryan Fox backers, because
this is bad news for
you
everyone.
think at the very least the Piston is going to join Fox on -17, and if he drains that, he's one clear with the 18th to play. It's a wobbly old green, that, isn't it? That ball stopped and then kept going. What do you ask for when you're in the chairs? Oh, hang on a sec. Meronk at 14. We will come back to that burning question.
Tristan is a very lusty hitter, isn't he? He only left himself 191 in there.
I know, and he was a little flick. Didn't put anything into it. Here's Meronk. This looks like it's going places. Oh, it's lovely. It's cozied it up to the whole side. Yeah, what do you ask for when you're in the chair?
The same as last time, yeah. I just rely on his memory just to reproduce.
Well, that could be a problem if he's had the injury, because it would be so long. What if he says, "Oh, sorry, mate, I've forgotten what I used to have"? What would you say? I
would say, short back and sides.
Would you?
I never really care. It always means more to the lady wife than me, to be honest. I mean, I don't need to attract a mate, so I don't really care what I look like. I'm committed to my wife forevermore. So why do I care what I look like?
Well, in that case, go to another barber, surely.
No, I just want to stay loyal to him. I don't go for the haircut. I go for the banter. He's a really nice lad, and I just like.
Oh, is he?
To him. Yeah.
Right. You certainly have something to talk about with the injury, won't you? It won't just be the old, you book your holidays up or been to see Wayne.
Yeah. I hope he's okay. I mean, I think who knows?
It's well enough.
If a finger, all it needs is a finger injury, and the barber's out of play, I suppose.
Yeah, but then, I suppose so. Right. Brutal says, Bruce, the 18th is playing 0.56 over par today, by far the hardest hole. So that makes life very interesting, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does. It's a good point. Well made. You saw how
very good point for him running. Very good point for him running punters as well, obviously, because if you think, oh, he's just got a par the last to win, it's actually a par 4.56, isn't it?
Yeah, very good point, Brutal. Thanks for that.
Absolutely right then. So it's 11-8 Ryan Fox with Boyle Sports. It's 6-4 Meronk. It's 11-4 Tristan the Piston Lawrence. Let's have a little go at Meronk at 17, Steve.
Oh yes.
So let's dip into that. I do like all these markets.
What are they going to dangle on the to beat Senior on the par 5 17th then? Because Senior's head must be virtually off. It's
4-6. You can have 4-6 Meronk at 17.
Yeah. I think that's fair enough. Although Meronk's got the pressure of trying to win a golf tournament, and Senior's. Yeah, I don't know what Senior's condition is like. I haven't seen him for a while, have we?
Meronk is Steve. Meronk is 1-4 to birdie or eagle the 17th, and 100-30 to par it. So it must be a right easy one, that, mustn't it?
No, we've hang about. What's happened? That doesn't seem right, does it?
What?
That seems incredibly short. There's a lot of confidence behind him there.
Well, I mean, it's obviously just playing like a par 4. Meanwhile, here's a crucial moment. Here's Lawrence at 17. Here's Lawrence
drive,
a 28-foot eagle putt. It's a massive snaker right to left. As he left that low of the hole, it's a good putt. It's not quite in, but he is going to join the Fox on -17. He's got to play the 18th, which is a par 4.56. Don't forget. So it couldn't be closer, really, could it? I mean, it's been a brilliant afternoon. It's gone quickly. given how close all the how close it all is in the betting. 5-4 Fox, 6-4 Meronk, 11-4 Tristan Lawrence. Steve, I know you've put Meronk up, but 6-4 is he a little bit short there, or do you think the fact that he's still got 17th to play very much in his favour?
Yeah. I mean, it's very much in his hands, isn't it? Yeah, it's his to lose.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah,
in a way, it's Lucas Herbert ruining some Lowry bets.
If he drains it, he just about catches the right edge of the cup. So that puts Lowry and Wright down a couple of places. I think if you took the 12 places with Ball Sports on Lowry, if you played it safe and took as many places as you can, you'll make a couple of quid on the week. So that's good. No harm in that. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they come up with for the Open Championship, because there'll be a real old scrap for offering the most places there, and Ball Sports normally win that scrap, don't they? Maybe we get 12. You can't go above 12, can you? I mean, no one's ever done that, have they?
A fifth, 156.
Right, here
comes the birdie hole. This is a birdie hole.
Meronk's tee shot at 15. He's gone with the 3-wood. Give it a right old clout, and he's found just about.
Get out!
Yeah, he's just about found the cut and prepared. He's down the left.
Right, this is it. He
should have a tiny little flick in from there, shouldn't he?
Yeah, we're going to go birdie par, victory.
Oh, we've got another special guest coming up soon, Steve. Looking forward to this.
Cripes, I forgot about our guest. Who have we got?
We've got the man.
We've got
the man who met his current girlfriend at a countdown convention. The legend that is Brendan G.
Yes, he's back for more.
Here
he is. He's smoking some sort of ganja weed. I get in trouble for having a mug of lager, and he's come on with a ganja weed.
I'm stone cold sober. Cup of coffee and a Jaffa cake. I'm ready for action.
Well, what was that? A cigarette, or are you a dragon?
Was that a vape?
It was a vape.
Was it? Oh, he's a vape.
Yeah. Wow. Is it good vaping? Do you like it?
It wouldn't be a bad simulation. It's not as nice as smoking. Obviously, smoking kicks ass, but can kill you in a number of ways. But have you ever smoked, Bruce?
Yes, I smoked throughout my 20s for my sins. I was very lucky to get rid. Basically, my brother gave up, and he read a book called The Easy Way to Stop Smoking by a legend called Alan Carr. And he said to me, do you want to start? I said, yeah, I do. I said, I've got my son's about to be born. I don't want to be smoking around the kids. You know, it's just rubbish. And so he lent me the book. And honestly, Brendan, 3 pages in, it felt like this book had been written specifically for me. And the trick with it was that you had to keep smoking until you'd finished the tome. And so you hate those cigarettes. You absolutely hate those last cigarettes. And he said, the final paragraph, it says, right, you're about to light your last ever cigarette. Feel the horrible feeling as that smoke goes into your lungs and the smell on your clothes and all that, and just be so grateful you're going to enter a new life without it. And I smoked that cigarette, stubbed it out, and never smoked since. How about that?
Well, fantastic. 3 points of order I'd like to raise on that. First of all, well done on giving them up. Not easy. Second of all, the thing you might remember from your 20s is that singe on the back of your throat, which is quite pleasing, I find. Well, the vaporizer is the best simulation you can get of that. So it's not bad in that sense if you are trying to give up. And thirdly, from my understanding of the Alan Carr book, is that his whole shtick is basically to tell you that the way you feel after a cigarette is just the same as you'd feel if you'd never smoked in the first place. But sure, I don't want to be on a constant plateau. I want peaks and troughs. I love the feeling of a cigarette when I'm down low, I'm stressed out, I'm watching golf, I've been invested in someone for 4 days. I love a smoke to take the stress out. I know it's a confidence trick, but I mean,
I tell you what, and it's authentic, and this is why it works so well. What he says is, you're led to believe, if you're a smoker who wants to give up, you're led to believe it's ridiculously difficult because you've got this horrible addiction. He said that is a very slight addiction that lasts 3 weeks. And once you've done your 3 weeks, it's just habit. He says smoking is habit. You pick up the phone, you light a cigarette. You have a beer, you light a cigarette. You get in the car, you light a cigarette. You finish, and he's absolutely right. But anyway, have you had a bet in the golf?
Oh, well, yes. Well, originally I fell for, I mean, I can't even look at you while I tell this, but I know a man who lives down in around Mount Juliet, and he was there for the Pro-Am. and he followed for 9 holes. He followed Tyrrell Hatton. And he said, this guy, he was 4 under for 9 holes. He should have been 5 under. He missed a tiddler. He's absolutely pure in it. And it's the equivalent of a horse catching pigeons on the gallops, isn't it? And then I, like a complete gammon, went in and backed him, and he didn't catch many birds on the Thursday and Friday, I can tell you that. But I should give a shout out to Peter the King Kingston, who was a strokes gained ultra. I saw he sent you a message there earlier. Bloody good egg. I said to him, I'm going to be watching the Sweet Spot today. Give us a few bets just to keep me entertained. And he sent me 3. Lucas Herbert, who disgraced himself early, is currently finishing like a train, no good. Aaron Rye, who just was a bit meh. But Tristan the Piston Lawrence, I have a small few quid on him each way, so I couldn't get out of this fiasco yet.
Oh, wow. What price did you back the Piston at?
20 to 1.
Lovely. How about that? Brilliant.
One of 3 possible winners, Brendan. You're in there.
One of 3 possible. And if he finishes in the 4, I won't lose today, but I'll never see that Tyrrell Hatton money again.
What happened to Hatton, Steve?
Sorry, say again. Missed the cut. I think Hatton. Yeah, missed the cut, I believe. Yeah. But don't worry about that. Let's talk about Brendan's relationships. How are you getting on with that lady? What base are we at now?
Oh yeah. No, we're flying. I like the cut of her jib, as you would say. She's away. Her brother's home from Canada for 2 weeks. So good egg that she is. She's done all the event planning for him, and she's taken him to the Ring of Kerry. So I won't see her for a couple of weeks. But as we know, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and this is a very busy time. Bruce was talking about the Tour de France, Bruce. 100 to 1 winner on day 1, and Fabio Jakobsen. Like, you can only wish good things for Fabio. I think the poor young fella still having reconstructive surgery on his face. So that was a great start to the Tour de France. So I have enough. I probably have enough sports going on at the moment that I could do it not seeing her for a couple of weeks. So it's all we're working on this nice timing symmetry, the two of us.
Oh, that's good. And remind us about how you met.
100 to 1 winner.
Yeah, in the first stage of the Tour de France.
Well done.
Yeah, I mean, I could have had a zillion guesses and not got Yves Lampard.
Yeah.
The absolute ultimate dictionary definition journeyman. But remind us, you met this lady at a countdown convention in County Carlow, is that right? Or have I just gone a bit too alliterative there?
Yeah, a little bit too illiterate. Sligo Roscommon border, to be specific. 8 kilometres from Boyle. That's about as much as I can narrow it down for you. Boyle is the nearest metropolis, and that's stretching it.
Oh wow, excellent. So, and how many guests would have been at this convention?
Oh, there was a good turnout at that one. There were definitely 3 groups of 8. I think there were 26 people.
And what happens at a countdown convention?
Well, you play off in a round robin format, or there are 5 or 6 round robin matches. Then you separate the wheat from the chaff. So you have 3 groups of 8, so that then people can play in a quarterfinal, semi-final, final situation against people of similar ability.
And there's no money.
Cash prize? I was going to ask. Yeah, cash prize.
No cash prize. Just for the love of the game. Not unlike Countdown itself. I mean, suppose you get a dictionary if you go on Countdown. But I think I might have won a little book of crosswords or something. It's upstairs on my Countdown shrine. I haven't opened it yet.
You get to meet Susie Dent, don't you? I bet you like Susie Dent.
Well, I have met Susie Dent. I felt she was a little bit standoffish. Not the double R is like as even more radiant in the flesh, Steve, if you can believe that. And also, just what a good egg. She just stood and talked to me for 3 minutes, and she thinks me down. People were there, Rachel. She was there. No, wait. She's all the time in the world to talk to me. Absolute Christian.
Oh, that's nice. That's really good. And this particular tournament, did you wow the lady by winning the whole thing?
No, but I did get to the final, which would have been, if you were to do it off rankings, I would have been seeded 3. Now, I had a little bit of luck with the draw, but I did get to the final, so I feel like I overachieved.
And how far did she get in the countdown competition? I should.
I think she was in the second 8, which was a good effort because she doesn't really play countdown. She was just going to support her friend. So yeah, she has potential, but she's no commitment to the game. She hasn't looked at the game of countdown since Sligo Roscommon. So how does she expect to improve?
A fair weather countdown. It's a brilliant place to meet love. I love that. I think that's absolutely superb. What a brilliant thing. Right.
Tristan's in the bunker, I'm afraid, Brendan. He's on the green side bunker.
Oh my goodness, he looks like he's got a horrible lie there.
Well, you hope it's the other one, don't you? There's 2 balls in there, but Meronk's played a very, very poor approach to 15, and it looks like a par at 15, which is we were hoping was a pick-up hole for Meronk fans. So, Foxy's the one that'd be laughing his socks off at the moment.
He will. We've got lovely. Sorry, chaps. I'm just going to. Whenever we get praise, I have to wallow in it, Brendan. That's how insecure I am. And Richie Casey comes on and says, "This is probably the best live sports show since Jeff's Soccer Saturday (brackets Phil Charlie Merce days." Excellent. Thank you very much.
Well said, Phil Charlie. I have to say, when Steve mentioned earlier about the Dark Destroyer, I'm often reminded of commentating partnerships who have great rapport, like Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. But I'm also reminded of Bradley Walsh and the Dark Destroyer, Sean Wallace. They have great chemistry, and the pair of you have great chemistry as well. That's what makes the show so watchable.
Look at Steve. Look at his face. To quote Barry, Meronk has just rattled in a massive putt to join.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
He's been putting so well this week. Yesterday, his putter turned into a magic wand, and there it is again. A bit more purposeful that time, wasn't it?
Oh, that is some putt, in fairness. Yeah.
That's a beautiful reaction as well. Look how measured he is.
Let's get the latest betting then, because Meronk has suddenly leapt to favouritism with balls at 4-7, and then it's 9-4 Ryan Fox and 6-1 the Piston. Bad news for you, Brendan. Unfortunately, he's in the sand at 18.
I've had a good run for my money. I must say I've never seen him before, because I followed that tournament where Steve put him up in South Africa, which was a great triumph. But I only followed it online because after 2 days, it was escape from South Africa, wasn't it? So then they only played one hole on the side. But I'm very impressed with this young fella's gait. He's got that South African Ernie Els, Retief Husum swagger about him. He just strolls around the place. There's a lot of money on the line here. And the Piston, he's just, here I am. Happy.
He's a very content character, isn't he? Yeah, very cuddly, content character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. He looks that way. Yeah. So he's giving me a good run for my money. I can't complain. I didn't really enjoy the day the way I should have done. I had some work to do on Friday, and I had to get the work done. I had to get the work finished. It had to be ready to go Monday morning. So Friday afternoon, I got a call. Do you want to go to Bellewstown? And I hadn't got the work done, but I just went to Bellewstown and said, I'll do it on Sunday. But I've been doing it while trying to listen to the sweet spot. And as we know, multitasking is just doing more than one thing badly. So I haven't really been able to properly interact with the show. Oh, Herbert, that's an outrageous.
That's great news for you.
The Piston's got the easier lie there, hasn't he, in that bunker?
Yeah. Although Steve, in fairness to him, when he had that 3-putt from 50 feet, I was just so impressed with his swag. I thought, he'll just step up and knock this in. Steve said, I don't fancy for this, and he missed it. But overall, I mean, look, they all miss putts, don't they? I think he's really covered himself in glory today.
Steve, do you know what Bellewstown is?
I don't. No.
What do you think it could be?
I think that's probably a town in Ireland.
Yeah, but why would Brendan go to Bellewstown?
Well, I know he likes Countdown, and I know he likes ladies. So probably for one of those two things.
No. It's a race course. You never.
Oh, is it Bellewstown? Yeah, no, I don't know that one.
Brendan, what's Bellewstown like?
They're doing it right in Bellewstown. I was talking to my dad about this. They've invested an awful lot of money in the facilities, and they only have 8 meetings a year, but they always get a great crowd. It's a beautiful view. There's hurdy-gurdies out one side for the kids, plenty of punting. It's low-grade stuff, but there's always a great atmosphere there, and there was the 2 days I went as well.
Ooh,
the Pistons!
The Pistons absolutely smashed that way past. He's got the sort of putt back that Hao Tung Lee had last week. Did you watch that, Brendan, last week? Hao Tung Lee, when he beat Peters on the final hole in the where were we last week? It's the European Open, wasn't it, in Munich?
Yes, I caught a replay.
Wild celebrations, absolutely.
Yes, well, he was entitled. He was entitled because he lost his game. But I was in the Curragh, and again multitasking. I was totally focused on the prize in the Curragh.
I know the Curragh. Yeah, that's a very famous race.
Have you been to the Curragh? Oh, you've only been to Fairyhouse, I think, haven't you?
I think I've only been to Fairyhouse. Yeah. I must get over so there's more action, a bit of Punchestown and all that business.
Oh, you should go. You'd love Punchestown, mate. We'll go to the Punchestown Festival next April, shall we? The end of April, isn't it?
Why don't you ask Brendan about this Guinness debate we're having? Because I'm vehement that the Guinness tastes better in Ireland, and Bruce is not so vehement.
Well, myself and Bruce are very much on the same page about Guinness. We talked about this before, and it's just a meal. I can only ever have one of them,
exactly.
so I don't
it's
drink.
A meal. It is. It's a pot noodle, a well liquidized pot noodle. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't drink Guinness very often for that reason. But wait till you hear this. I have very much heard from seasoned Guinness drinkers. Now, there's a lot of confirmation bias goes on amongst them, and they're drunk, of course, as well, which doesn't help. But I was in a hotel at a wedding, and they were drinking pints of Guinness in the hotel bar. And one guy turns to the other and he says, "Jesus, this is a great pint for hotel Guinness." So there's not even a difference.
Genre, yeah.
There's not even a difference between what country you're in. It depends whether you're in a pub or a hotel. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, does it?
Yeah, you can't trust the hotel to focus on it. That's what he says here. The landlord's going to nurture it and look after the pipes and look after. I'm with you, man. There, I'm with you, man. There. I love Guinness so much. I've almost got a capacity for Guinness that is like unlimited. I could. There's no reason to stop. You know.
Oh, he's rolled his putt.
Oh, it was a good roll, though. He missed it on the high side. Yeah. I think
you'll get your full place money, Brendan.
I think this young fella has a future.
Absolutely. But just back to the Guinness. Oh no! Before we go back to Guinness, Andrew Ricketts says, "Could Brendan give us a couple of horses to follow over the jumps next season, please?" Well, if not the jumps, what about a flat horse that you like? Hang on a sec, because Catlin is about to go minus 17.
He's asking the question. Hang
on a sec. We're going to have to focus on this, and then we'll get the horses to follow, and then we'll go back to Guinness very briefly because I've got.
I'll go Florida Pearl. Florida Pearl still got one last big one in him, I reckon.
This is on its way. This is in.
No, it's not.
Goodness me. Catlin leaves that right on the edge. That would have put the cat among the pigeons.
Yeah,
literally the Catlin among the pigeons, wouldn't it?
It would have done.
Horse to follow, please, Brendan.
Well, this is very much a recency bias, but I was in Naas yesterday, and there's a filly of Ger Lines that won the first race. A very flashy sort, chestnut with white markings. But I thought she's an absolute specimen, and I thought she was very impressive in the race. Unfortunately, you won't be shocked to hear this from our previous work together, Bruce. I can't actually remember her name, but if the viewers want to look up the results on the race post site, it was the very first race. It was. I think. Did she start with a C? One name, something like that.
Win?
She did win.
This is the most ridiculous name ever. Maui Wowie.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, there. I got a pass for that.
Did she have long legs? Did she have long legs? We were talking about horses with long legs earlier and how effective they are at running.
She is quite, not necessarily that tall, but very, very strong. She'd an arse on her like a cook, as someone famously said about some sportswoman. But I can't remember. I can't remember who it was said about. Oh, actually, yeah. So anyway, she's got a lot of power behind the saddle, for want of a better phrase, Steve, and is one to watch going for. Actually, I had one more point of order just before. I wanted you to ask your daughter, because someone said to me, people are saying things to me all the time about hotel Guinness, all the guff I have to listen to. But someone told me once before that if you get a nosebleed, you should actually tilt your head forward. Now, Steve said,
"Yeah."
Oh, okay. Oh, because Steve said tilt your head back. Now, no. Intuitive thing to do, but so you tilt your head forward. Okay,
your head forward, because what you've got to do is let the blood clot. Okay, it's going to keep bleeding. There's no point tilting your head back, and there's no point pinching at the top of the nose. Meanwhile, Meronk, has got 12 foot for birdie.
I didn't want to ruin my Poland shirt. If you go that way, you're going to get it all over your Poland shirt.
No, but
Meronk's in fine shape. Yeah, he set up a great birdie opportunity there. Yeah, I'm still very confident Meronk's going to win this.
I've got to go back to. We need to spell this horse out. It's called Mauie. This is like a countdown conundrum, actually. You'll probably make another word out of this. Mauie Wowie. Maui Wowie. It's all one word, and that is Brennan's horse to follow. I just quickly want to go back to Guinness, because when I knew you were coming on, I think that you basically, well, I mentioned this last time you were on, you're missing a very lucrative career as a voiceover voice, what they call voiceover artist. Okay, so I think you should be a voiceover artist. So I want you to rehearse for that now. And I was actually thinking we should get you to do Guinness, but given that you're not mad on Guinness, you might not put the passion in necessary. So what would be your chosen lager?
I like Wicklow Wolf. It's an
right.
IPA. Yeah.
Okay, so could you do a 5-second thing for why people should buy Wicklow Wolf lager, as if you're auditioning to be the voiceover for the Wicklow Wolf adverts?
Well, maybe I could do I could do a little finish, and I could say something like Wicklow Wolf, a howling good ale.
Yes.
Honestly, you need to join. There's agencies. We had to choose someone.
Yeah.
We had to choose someone for a Racing Post voiceover once. Hang on a sec. We need to watch Meronk. 12 foot for birdie. This will put a smile on Steve's face if this curls in. It's plenty of right to left. It's on its way. It's looking good. And he's found the cup. Steve's.
What a putting performance this is. And I mean, 17's basically a gimme birdie. I know things can go.
It's over.
Okay, it's over. So, yeah.
No, it's not, Steve. This is where you go wrong. This is
time
where
to get the Guinness out. I was going to come on with Guinness today because I thought it'd be appropriate for the Irish Open. I'm glad I didn't with all this anti-Guinness vibe out there. I was going to come on with a crate of Guinness and see how I could get on.
1 to 7 Meronk, 5 to 1 Ryan Fox. There you go. Pat, oh, by the way, Brendan, when you worked in a betting environment, did you used to have people in the office who would suddenly randomly talk like bookmakers and go, fight on the field, fight on? Or is it just a weird English thing, do you think?
No, I'm sure. I have such a bad memory. I can't really remember. And now I'm hearing someone say it in my head, but I think it was an actual bookmaker. So there were so many things. There were so many things cropped up in work. It was bound to have happened. Yeah.
And the other thing that fascinates me by people at work, and this goes for any office, I think, is blokes who just randomly suddenly start doing a pretend golf swing. You know that when they sort of come up to you, have you seen that, Steve? They just
I've been guilty of that sometimes.
You're talking to them about something complete nothing to a golf, and they'll suddenly start rehearsing a golf swing. You're like, why are you doing that?
Practice makes perfect. It's all muscle memory. It's all muscle memory.
Yeah, you're just gonna see all sorts. I mean, it's just a quirk of existence that you spend more time with your colleagues than you do with your actual family. So the people are just gonna see everything, aren't they?
There's now as queer as folk, Bruce. There's now.
No, there isn't. Well, there certainly isn't. Absolutely not. And Brendan, Darren Walker says, have you got any views on Never Ending Story? I've got 40 to 1 for the 1,000 guineas next year. It won a 7-furlong maiden at the Irish Derby meeting for Aidan. What do you think?
Never Ending Story. I was at the Irish Guineas meeting. This is my memory.
I know.
The memory betraying me again. I don't remember the film either.
It's not a film. It was a Catch a Goo Goo song. Yeah, no, it's a song, not a film. Yes, it was a Catch a Goo Goo song.
Oh, was it?
So unfortunately, Darren. Oh, sorry.
Was it Bucks Fizz? Never Ending Story. One or the other.
I can't remember the horse. I'd have to go back and have a look at her. It's a wonder she hasn't been out since then, though. That's quite a layoff. Aidan likes to keep them busy. But anyway, I don't want to cause Darren any concern. I'm sure she's fine, and she's in the right hotel anyway.
Well, very much so, absolutely. Will says, "What price is Steve on Meronk at? What price are you on Meronk at, Steve?"
Oh, just at the short prices this morning, 5 to 2.
Very confident, weren't you? You gave it a good write-up. It's always worth watching out on racingpost.com. If Steve's tips have faltered, he comes up with fresh ammo. Even if they're doing well, he comes up with fresh ammo on racingpost.com. So well worth checking every morning. Shifty lad is
Meronk over the line. Then we got McCarthy tonight. Then we got McIlroy tomorrow. You could get yourself down to the JP McManus Invitational, Juki.
You can't get a ticket.
Oh,
for
sorry, no,
money.
Sell out now.
Yeah, and I don't think they ever went on sale.
Really? You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
The lineup is unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, I think it's the top 10 golfers in the world. I mean, I was going to ask Steve about this. The top 10 golfers in the world probably only play against one another 6 or 7 times a year, do they?
It's incredible drama. Yeah, Victor Hovland's the only one missing, and we're all wondering why. But can't you just go near it? Just park near it. You're used to hanging out on the border. Can't you just park on the Limerick border?
I mean, I could do. It seems a long way to go for me. I'll watch it on the telly though. It's very. JP's given the TV rights away, or maybe the money's going to charity. I mean, this is going to be some boon for all the local charities, because I think he's footing the bill. He's footing the bill for everything basically. So yeah, it can't but go well. I hope they get nice weather, because really, basically since I've been in Killarney in May, so that was early May, it's just been constantly windy this summer. Have you noticed that? Like, I know we live on an island, but I mean, even by those standards, it's really just, I think it's got into my noodle at this stage. They talk about the easterly wind drives men mad. I don't know if it's an easterly wind, but I was in Naas yesterday, and I walked around for about an hour, and I thought, there's something wrong here. But because it wasn't windy, that's how I'm just. I mean, I tried to wear a hat for 3 days at the Curragh. That was a complete waste of time. I spent more time running after it. So the wind, the wind is really.
What's a hat? One of those classic ones like David Nicholson would wear, a classic sort of brown felt racing person's hat. Do you go?
No, I do have a blue felt one for the winter. But I've really embraced hats, so I've now two hats. I have a Panama hat for the summer.
Oh. Yeah. Oh no, they get blown all over the place. You need very.
It's definitely getting windier. Weymouth's getting windier. The last year or so, I've noticed every day's windy. I think. I mean, there's a lot of talk out there. This climate change. I think the world is getting windier, from my experience. So, watch out.
Okay.
Absolutely. Shifty Lad asks Brendan, would you recommend Champions Day in Leopardstown, and could Champions race be race of season? Champions Stakes, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, indeed, Shifty. I would recommend Leopardstown at any time. It's my favourite place in the world. But I would recommend the whole weekend, because you can then go to the Curragh on Sunday. Unfortunately, I will not be in the Curragh on the Sunday because my brother is getting married. Matt, what did they do? I mean, it's difficult when you're the groom. If your fiance, the love of your life, turns around and says, well, I picked this day for the wedding, and you go, well, your second day of Champions Weekend, because then you get into who do you love more, me or Champ? Anyway, so I, as the best man, will have to be at the wedding, because it'd be weird otherwise. Yeah, I know. So I'm going to hold this against him for a long time. So yes, I mean, there are some collection of 10 furlong talent around at the moment. And I hope it is the race of the season, because
wasn't the Eclipse good yesterday, Brennan? Great race that, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a brilliant race. It looked so competitive beforehand, and it really was competitive. It's just unfortunate that there was an unlucky loser.
I'm even more unfortunate. I backed it. Mishra.
He ran off his face. That was a big show. Why did you fancy him?
I just thought that, if he's back to his best, and Gozza had got In Spiral back to her best, it's just a ridiculous price. It's one of those you'll kick yourself if you don't back them bets, I kick myself having backed it, but never mind. A couple of bits coming in. Limal from Kachagugu sang the song, and it actually was a film, Steve, you're right, with David Bowie and Limal from Kachagugu in it. How about that?
That's it. Yeah. I do remember that from my childhood. Is that going to be your best man debut then, Dukey, or have you done it before?
No, I've done it before, and actually it'll be a bittersweet experience, because I've only done it once before for my other brother, and I only have two brothers. And I started off with when I did the last one for my previous brother, and I had the mic in the hand, and I looked across the crowd and said, what am I going to say about this guy? He's like a brother to me. So I'm going to use that again, obviously. But unless one of them gets divorced, which would be a massive solid for me, but bad for them, I will never be able to use it again.
It's true.
All right. I bet you have rolling in the aisles, Dukey. I bet you deliver a mean best man speech. Absolutely.
Well, I thought it went well the first time. Yeah. So hopefully I won't prove it a fluke.
Did you do it sober first time round, or did you have a few meals of Guinness beforehand? Because I've done it a couple of times. It was paralytic for both of them. I had to be really.
Well, no. I ask because it's an interesting one. Should you have the speeches before the wedding, which is of course better for the people making the speeches, but not so good for the crowd, or should you have them after the wedding?
No, you need
the meal.
You need people to be drunk for your speech. If you did your speech at 12 o'clock when they're stone cold sober, you'd get a couple of people tittering, but You wouldn't. I mean, your brilliant joke about like he's a brother to me. That could have got tumbleweed. No. You need to have people well oiled. I mean, it obviously prolongs your agony, but yeah. What price you to dance at your brother's wedding? Do you think?
Oh, well, the only time I ever dance at weddings is the only time I ever dance full stop is at weddings, because the combination of my slippy shoes and a slippy floor proves irresistible.
Are you decent?
Oh, terrible. But I mean, how many people can actually dance? I went for what's that South American dance? Salsa. I went for salsa lessons once to impress a woman, and I was absolutely hopeless at it. But I had about 8 lessons. But it's such a skill to have. I feel like women, if a man can dance, it's suggestive of other skills they might have, which involve timing and rhythm. And there was this old boy, and he must have been between 70 and 80, and they were queuing up to dance with him, and he's twirling them around and doing the merengue, not a bother on him. So it is a good, if I could tell my younger self who wants to be more attractive to women, one thing I would say, learn how to dance.
Absolutely. Well, Steve's attraction to Meronk has just got better because he's left himself about 15-footer for eagle at 17.
Call the cops, form an orderly queue. It's over.
Viewer comment of the day's just come in. Pete Turner says, I went to see Neverending Story. Absolutely livid when it finished. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. That is absolutely superb. That's right up there with the guy going into Blockbusters and saying, I'd like to hire Batman Forever. And the bloke said, well, you can borrow it, but I need it back by Friday.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I think that's brilliant.
yeah, that is a good one. It's a good one.
I do like that. It's like the other fellow who said, I went to see Malcolm X. Good film, but I wish I'd seen the previous 9.
Yeah. A bit of Roman punnery there. Nice, like it.
What's the rest of the day hold for you?
Brendan needs another cigarette after all this.
Getting back on the gaspers at this point.
Yeah. Well. I'm gonna go for a swim now shortly. When the I could probably go now because high tide was at 3:50, so I should.
Swimming.
Yeah. I've become a wild swimming person in the last year or so, because maybe 2 years, because I live out by the seaside now. I used to live in the foothills of the Dublin Mountains, so really I am a mountain man, but I'm masquerading as a sea dog. So I've embraced sea swimming, and it is quite. I think it's good for the soul.
Do you have a wetsuit or just a pair of trunks?
Just a pair of trunks, but I only swim, say, between April and September. I'm not like one of the polar bears. Yeah.
And what's the name of the beach you swim off?
Sea Point.
Seaport.
Sea Point.
Oh, Sea Point. Oh, lovely, brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, that's very nice.
And then a couple of Wicklow Wolves.
I might go for a couple of pints. I feel like I've earned them. I've done a day's yakka actually. Now I was supposed to do it on Friday. My employer would probably say, but still, I've done a day's yakka. I might go for a couple of pints. Yeah.
Brendan, we will leave you to go swimming, drinking, and hopefully enjoying the golf. Lovely to have you on. I hope you can join us for the Open in 2 weeks' time, because you are the most special of special guests. What do you reckon?
Well, that's very kind, Bruce. It usually coincides with the Irish Oaks, and I mean, I love you guys, but I love Irish racing more. So
well, join us on another show in future. We love having you on. All the best, Brendan Duke. Thanks very much for being on the Sweet Spot Live, mate.
Great work, lads. Keep it up. Okay, bye.
Cheers, Dukey. See you, mate. He will do a good best man speech when he old Dukey.
He could make money on voiceovers, don't you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Beautiful voice, that, isn't it? It's a beautiful voice he's got. Should we get back to the golf, Steve? Because Adrian Meronk is 1-20 with Boyle Sports to win the Irish Open.
I can't see it going. I don't see how it goes wrong from here. He's going to have a 2-shot lead going up the last. He can play it very conservatively.
It is a hard hole. That's the only thing, isn't it?
But yeah, it's a hard hole. But when you can bogey to win, then you're not going to struggle from there, are you? He's in a club 12 for that approach at 17 there. He really has come of age in this golf tournament. He spent those times on the leaderboard, blown a few chances, but you learn from every experience, and he's clearly come through. He's 29 years of age. He's about to have the greatest moments of his life.
Will you go and see Chris? Will you knock him up and just see if he's been watching?
I might go and have a little walk around that end and see if I can hear anything going on. See if there's any party poppers popping. But yeah, I'll definitely mention it. I'll stop him next time I see him on a dog walk. I am going to stop him and talk about this. More people need to know about Adrian Meronk. Never mind more polls. More people need to know about him, particularly the Poles. I know it's not a huge sport in that country, but
but it could be massive for Polish golf. This couldn't it?
Yeah, and just Polish people generally. I was talking to Wazza early on about when he was growing up, he had to drive 3 hours to get to a golf course because obviously there aren't many golf courses in Poland. So you've really got to want that career.
Wazza had to.
No. Meronk had to.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So to become the player that he is, he's had to work ruddy hard and be very, very committed.
Whereabouts in Poland is he from?
It's a good question.
I can find that out. Hang on. So here's his eagle attempt. Oh, he's only drained it. Good night, everybody. Meronk, that's brilliant, isn't it? He's opened up a 3-shot lead with the treacherous 18th to come. But have you got a warm glow?
Yeah. I'm so pleased for Adrian, as I like to call him. Did you notice there was a really tall bloke in the gallery there? Might be his brother, I guess. Don't know if he's got a brother, but there was someone taller than him in the gallery going bananas there. You might catch him in the background there. You see the really tall bloke?
Which advert is he over?
Just above the Heineken.
Behind the Heineken.
There he goes. You see him
with the claret quarter zip.
Yeah. He was extremely tall.
Do you think he looks a bit like Ben Stokes facially?
I suppose he does. He's a human being.
Come off it. It's not the worst lookalike, is it?
No. I've seen worse. I can't stop thinking about best man speeches now. You're talking about getting the reception that you get. Like when I did my one in Malawi, only 20% of the room spoke the same language as me. So to get a good reception, was ruddy difficult. I did well. That would have been a tough gig. How many were at that one? Oh, it was packed out. Yeah, it's packed out. But I'd say only 20% of the room were English speakers. I still got a few titters.
Oh, good, excellent. That's good. I did one in Lancashire. It went all right. It went very well, in fact. Yeah,
Lanky Lancashire.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was up in a place called Upper Mill. It was really nice. Yeah,
so nice. Yeah,
I think it went down pretty well. Funny enough,
do another one?
I had a bit of a risque joke in there, and I ran it past my friend's girlfriend the night before. Okay, and she said to me, "If you say that joke in the speech, it will cause absolute problems and will probably ruin the entire wedding." And I just hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen how bad it was. And she absolutely saved my bacon, this girl, because if I had, it would have been a disaster. So you've always got her on the side of caution. I mean, it's all the a laugh off your mates who are on your wavelength, but if you upset, the other people who are there, then it's just not worth it. It's a catastrophe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
Stu Eads comes on with an intelligent question. Matthias Gradetsky won on the Challenge Tour this year. Could he be the next Meronk?
Well, they're all following in his footsteps. They've got someone to look up to now, and they come to inspire them. So, you probably will see a next generation of Meronks coming through, and that lad's leading the way.
The other good thing, of course, Steve, is with this winning, or with the fact that he's almost certain to win, it means you can get off and see your mum nice and prompt, doesn't it? That's the main thing.
Yes, yeah, it is the main thing. And then, I can get the trip to the hospital done, and then Denny McCarthy tees off at 6:45. So it's all coming good.
Denny McCarthy's got about a 3-shot deficit, hasn't he?
He has. It's a very competitive heat. Yeah. I think it's between the three. I mean, Emiliano Grillo, as I say, I've sort of lost faith in him through the years. But Scott Stallings
knows where the winner's enclosure is, doesn't he?
Yeah, jolly long time ago since he found it there, though. 2014, I believe, his last win. And JT Poston, as I say, I'm expecting a little wobble. I'm not convinced by swing. Denny McCarthy's been playing the most consistent golf all year out of those three. Putts, typically putts superbly. Found 18 greens in regulation last night. I
thought some of his putting was a bit scrappy last night, I must say.
Yes, and it regressed to the mean today, which is normally fantastic putting. I was encouraged by how badly he putted last night because he very rarely putts that badly two rounds in a row. So I'm very, very hopeful about Denny McCarthy. It's all about the M. So we got Meronk over the line, get McCarthy over the line tonight, and then the
McIlroy
Rory McIlroy plunge tomorrow, and then
you haven't had the M treble, have you?
I've had a small M treble. I've had some M doubles, M&Ms. So I should have come on with all my props. I talk about the Guinness. I thought, maybe I should come on with a load of M&Ms, and eat M&Ms. But you never get round to these things, do you?
No, I know. It would have been good, wouldn't it? For the Open, perhaps we could bring props, couldn't we?
Yeah, let's try and think of some props. Look, he's licking his lips, quite literally.
He's so happy. He was there, wasn't he? Yeah, he absolutely was. My dog has got a squeaky toy in her mouth. This could be awkward.
Oh, really?
She starts playing with it, yeah, because it makes a little hooting noise.
What is in Adrian Meronk's hand?
He's got the bit. He can't be taking the chief.
He has as well.
That's ridiculous. He's bringing disaster into play. This is mad.
Yeah, I don't like it when they do this.
No, this is crazy. You cannot go with driver on 18. There's just too much danger. He's gone mad. I know it's 480, but you can trundle your way up there, man.
Double bogey to win. He just needs to take an iron, doesn't he? I mean, I don't know. He's got more confidence. Cameron Smith did this at the Players' Championship, put the willies up me.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I have no willy up me at the moment.
All right, so what if you flush it down there? What's the big deal? It doesn't do you any good. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely.
How's your nosebleed? Are you all right?
Yeah, it's all right, thanks. Yeah, that was just regulation. Yeah.
Just standard snot.
Fabrizio Snotty. Here we go. That's all right.
Oh, there we go. Take it
he's opened up the green there, isn't he? Yeah. Sensible play there. Sensible play. It's a lovely bright shirt, that, isn't it?
Yeah, he deserves it wearing a shirt like that, doesn't he? Look at Jorge just plodding his way around like a big lemon.
Oh, bless his heart. He's all right. He'll earn a few quid. Jorge can.
No, he's fine, and he's had a nice walk.
Yeah, that's a good shot. There's nothing wrong with that. So, Steve, 5 o'clock. We've got I think the leaders tee off in America at about 6:15. Do they? Is that right?
6:45. 6:45, I think. Denny's not in the final group, he's in the penultimate group. If you tune in around the 6:45 mark, and you won't go far wrong.
Absolutely. Ball Sports have got all the in-play markets as well on that as well, so check them out. There's loads and loads. We didn't really get that deeply into the weeds of their offering today, but did
we tip Meronk at the 17th from the par 5? I think we did, didn't we? Yeah, he certainly won that.
Certainly won that. Yeah, but there's just loads on there. There's driving distances and all sorts of stuff going on. So
there is an
array of markets. It must be said.
And the McCarthy McIlroy double is there for Boyle Sports customers right here, right now.
Yes, absolutely. So that's good. We're back on the 17th of July, 2 weeks hence for the Open. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. If you enjoyed the show, we would love you to just hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. That's fantastic. It's always great to have your company. I mean, this show would... Oh, hang on a sec. Your box is about to go into standby mode. Take over.
You always have that, don't you?
I know.
Yeah, we'll take over. Yeah, Adrian Meronk is chomping on something. So strange time to eat something. He's only got one hole to play. He's going to wash it down with a little bit of water. He's a very content man.
Why do you have to have 2 remote controls? It's so bad, that, isn't it?
I don't
Also, have you ever noticed that if you go around someone's house, have you noticed how hard it is to work out how their remote control would be?
Yeah, it's almost impossible.
Why can't we just standardise them? I mean, look at all the buttons on there. Just all these stupid buttons with weird symbols. Like, what do they all do? Do you know what buttons do on your remote?
No, I don't. No, you don't need many of them, do you?
How many buttons do you actually think you need?
I'd probably hit about 4 of them.
Yeah.
Well, 405. Yeah, 405 is always the one I hit for.
405 on and off, and the volume and home.
No, you speak the truth.
Thank you, mate.
I see. My wife very sweetly set out a bowl of blueberries and raspberries for me to eat while I was on air, and I haven't gone to him yet. I must eat some of them.
Oh, that's nice. Excellent. Oh, that is
like a blueberry.
Yeah, I do love a blueberry. Yeah, I do love a blueberry.
They're very good for you, aren't they?
Yeah, I wonder if Meronk's got any family over here. I hope he does, because I think he'd be quite emotional, don't you?
Yeah. I think his dad's played a big role in his development.
The only thing is, aren't Poles quite hard? Like, they're not the sort of people who'd cry, are they?
No. You're right. Yeah, I don't think he'll cry. I think he's too tough for that. But we shall see.
Cried,
Yeah, every other day.
Do you? Do you?
No, every other day.
I find myself crying a lot more. I even ridiculously, I was watching the netball grand final, the Australian netball grand final, because I had a bet on it, and it was Western Australia and West Coast Fever in Perth, and they won the final. And the jubilation, and I got very emotional because in Western Australia they've had a really hard lockdown, and when they won, all the girls burst into tears, and it was so emotional. I just found myself crying.
Yeah. I don't blame you. It's, as you get older, you cry more, don't you? My daughter was in a show yesterday at Weymouth Pavilion, and the first time she'd been on that stage, and she was doing a wonderful rendition of that was Tomorrow, the sun coming out tomorrow, you bet your bottom, all that, and I was just about to flipping implode in tears.
Oh, you have to go then, don't you?
Tommy was I was going to. It's such a beautiful moment. Then Tommy just sort of launched at me from the side and rugby tackled me and took me out of the moment, and I lost my train of thought and steadied myself. But I'm ready to pop at any moment. It's a very emotional world now, isn't it? Yeah, we're all worried about the world ending from various means.
I always feel better for a cry, don't you?
He's got to get it out there. Yeah. It's the same with vomiting, isn't it?
I say laughter's the best medicine, but I think crying's the best medicine.
You feel better after a good cry. You feel better after a good vomit. So getting it out there. Don't keep your emotions all inside you, because that's where you sort of implode and have heart attacks and stuff.
So anyway, back to the golf. Meronk has got his second shot into the par 4 18 to come, but before that, I'll just take you through the leaderboard to see where you finished if you had an each way bet. Meronk is leading on -20, Fox is on -17, Lawrence is 16, David Law 15, Zanotti 15, Catlin 15. Stop doing that. Campillo is 7th on 14, and then Olsen on his own in 8th. And then Rye, Kofstadt and Herbert share 9th with Lowry. And so they are the top 12. So if you took the maximum places there, well done. But it's all about Meronk now. Poor old Jack Senior, he's still going. Where's he? I mean, he fell apart on the front 9. I'm having to scroll. Where is he? Where is Gas?
8 under par. Yeah,
he's 8 under. Oh yeah, I scrolled too far. Yeah, I missed him. Yeah, but he's 5
on the streets. Crying on the streets of Morecambe tonight.
Is he from Morecambe? Is he Jack Senior?
Yeah.
Blimey, O'Reilly. Oh well, he'll have learned a lot.
He learned a lot about himself. I've actually had some nuts put out for me as well. It's an amazing service.
Brilliant. Lee Giles says, "What's your favourite flavour crisps?" You can go first, Steve.
I like a frazzle. A frazzle. Yeah.
I like Marmite's crisps best. But I like far too many crisps for my own good. I must cut down on crisps. Desperate crisp addiction. Anyway, here we go. Mark's just got to keep this on dry land, and he's going to be the Irish Open champion, as predicted at the start of the day by Steve. Well done. He's on his way. He's had his practice swing. He's got 195 to go. It's a lovely smooth swing. He's looking slightly concerned.
He wants to finish with a blaze of glory.
Oh, yeah, that's lovely. That is perfect. I mean, you couldn't be in the heart of the green more, could you?
He's going to win by half the track, isn't he?
Will said
20 under par. We said 20 under par. Anyway, we've done well.
Yeah,
Today's going to be a good day.
The engraver's getting busy. What happens if he's wrong? What happens if he completely messes it up?
Get the Tipex out, don't you?
Well, I'm not sure that works for an engraver. Perhaps there is like engraving Tipex.
Yeah, maybe.
What's your favourite non-alcoholic beverage? Will wants to know.
Well, I suppose Diet Coke. I mean, I've had a love-hate relationship with Diet Coke. I did have one earlier today, so yeah, I suppose that would count. Or vanilla Coke. I do enjoy vanilla Coke.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? I think you should give Coke Zero a go.
Yeah. What's his favourite? Ask him what his favourite is.
You ask him.
What's your favourite?
We're getting deep into the show now.
Yeah.
abysmally low standard is.
What's your favourite nut? That's a good chat, isn't it?
Favorite nut? Kind of. What am I? Chili flavored. There's a chili. I think it might be Nobby's nuts. Chili flavored.
Oh yeah, Nobby's nuts. Yeah. Chili coated.
Peanut,
Yeah, I know the ones well. Yeah.
Here's Meronk taking his ovation. What's yours? You like a cashew?
It's a pecan. It's a pecan, which is in my hand right now. And I just pointed at the camera because remember we were having a chat about them on Sweet Spot the other day, and you didn't really know what a pecan was. That's a pecan. Take a peek at that. Take a peek at that pecan.
Yeah. David Stewart says Thai sweet chili sensation nuts. I didn't even know there was such a thing. And Darren Walker, to take it back to bet, says, watch tennis tonight. Will you watch tennis tonight? Got on Ons Jabeur at 12-1 in the women's and Kyrgios at 28. Ons Jabeur. Funny enough, I was like, who or what is Ons Jabeur? But apparently she's the favourite for the women's. It's been a real tournament of shocks in the women's tournament. Do you follow it much?
I haven't followed it since the days of Steffi Graf and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario and Monica Seles. So no, I don't really know. Yeah. That surprises me as much as it surprises you. It's poor old Jack.
Oh, blimey. He's going to feel like he's holding things up as well now, isn't he? You know?
Yeah, he just wants to get off the stage.
He needs to get up there. But the only thing is he's going to earn a fair few quid for this. He can't rush it. I mean, there's bills to be paid. The electricity's going up this winter. And, he's not in a position to start hurrying up there just so that Adrian Meronk can have a clear run at it, Meronk's got 4 putts from here, and 5 putts from here, so it doesn't matter, does it?
He's just enjoying the moment now, and he knows that he doesn't really need to brush all that debris off.
We'll stay on. Do you mind staying on briefly just to see how emotional the victory thing is?
No, absolutely want to stay on. Absolutely want to stay.
Yeah. Who was it you were telling me about the other day? Or a lovely celebration with their kids. I can't think who it was. It won an American tournament. It was so beautiful.
Billy Horschel. Yeah, Billy Horschel. Yeah.
He seems like a great guy, doesn't he?
Well, his daughter ran on and said, "Did you win, Daddy?" And he went banana. It was a lovely moment. Yeah.
He said it. Funny enough, he said he was taking this week off to play golf with Nobes and John Terry.
Oh, is he really?
How about that?
Yeah.
Right then, here's Meronk's not waiting for poor old Senior. If this goes in, Senior's got to putt out for like 39th place. Well, Mount Juliet erupts to hail Adrian Meronk. Steve, do you think Adrian Meronk now he's got his first win? Do you think he could go on and be a real big name in European and indeed world golf?
I think he'd be a regular DP World Tour champion. Yeah, I'm not so sure about on the world stage. But
it's on its way. Where's he weak then?
Chipping's poor and a bit wild occasionally. And his course management's often found wanting, but not today. He's golfed his ball really well today, hasn't he?
I think he should have waited for Senior there, shouldn't he? And then he could have, I always think the champ should wait.
He's forgotten about Senior, isn't he? He's got good hair, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's much better hair than I thought. I thought he might even be bald, His caddy's loving that, isn't he? How much will his caddy make? 100 grand?
I think it's about 330, isn't it? He's getting for this, the total. Yeah, he's on the shoulder there. He can do that to anyone, can't he? Just be on their shoulders like that. He's such a tall.
He does look better without the hat, doesn't he? Actually,
the family home just had the front door open.
That's all right. So the moment the tournament's over, that's it, right? I'm not, not waiting upstairs. You've got to cooped up all day.
They went to the cinema. They went to watch. There's a new Minions thing out, Minions 10 or whatever it is.
Oh, really?
Do you know about them? Yeah, Drew or Grew, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Do Grow Grow says, great show, lads. Thanks. And I hope Denny does the business for you tonight, Steve. Yeah, so do I.
Cheers, Do Grow. Yeah, I really, really want Denny to win.
Someone else back Meronk and said it'll pay for a couple of tanks of petrol. That's good. Lovely. So we're going to wrap up.
£1,000 he's won there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, quite. Yeah, poor old Senior, double bogey putt. So he's going to finish on -6. But anyway, it's all over. Meronk has won the Irish Open. It was a thriller, but then he put it to bed. From 15 onwards, he went birdie, eagle, and wrapped up. Very nice there, Meronk. In his moment of victory, he's very sort of compassionate towards Senior, but now he's giving it the big fist pump. Yeah, it's happiness, isn't it, rather than like tears. And I'm just wondering if someone from Poland will come running on to embrace him. Don't think it's going to happen, is it? Oh, never mind.
Robert Varshika or something.
Yeah.
Who knows who's going to come out here?
Okay, guys, it's a wrap.
Yeah, we can't listen to that. Yeah, it's a wrap. Thanks for listening.
Steve. Thank you very much indeed. Well played. Thank you so much to Sam and to Kieran for their production. But obviously, most of all, thank you for watching. This show is nothing without you guys. We are back on Tuesday for the Sweet Spot, looking ahead to the Scottish Open. We're back the Tuesday after that for the Open. And then 2 weeks from today, there's another Sweet Spot Live for the final round of the Open from St Andrews. We would love you to join us for that. Hope you managed to back Meronk. Have a great night, and hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday.